Hello and welcome to On Tap Sports, the channel we cover all the sports all the time, and we're about to get the kickoff underway. Sorry, I ate as fast as I possibly could. Georgia versus Alabama for the SEC championship, and huge playoff implications in this one. I'll, of course, get to the chats here shortly. Let me know the mic is good. That is definitely one of the more important things really quickly because I hate talking on a mic that might not be good, as Georgia will take the ball out, and there's pretty good return out to the 26-yard line is where the Bulldogs will start. Number 1 Georgia versus number 3 Alabama. Guess who's number 2 in that scenario? Michigan. Michigan is. Hit that like button if you don't mind. Let's get this thing started. And I will try to catch up on chats. Go Dogs. Sick 'em woof woof woof, says M. Turner. Good to have you back, my friend. Thanks for being here for it. Biggest game of the day, 100%. It is a huge game for sure. I would say biggest game of the day. It's really one of the biggest games of the year. If Georgia had one loss, this would be the biggest game of the year, more than likely. All right, 1st and 10 here, but they don't have as much to play for, but they don't want to lose this game. Don't get me wrong. Stiff arm there by James Cook, and he will get the first down on the pass. And a flag, late hit as well, called on Alabama. So great start for Georgia on the perimeter. I got Georgia by 10. Remember this comment, says John. I said 27-24. I will remember that comment. 27-24, I got Georgia, and a close one. Georgia, please murder them, says Colton. No, we don't need all that. I know you're trying to go for it, Colton. Take your time. Thanks again, Colton. Daylight's burning. I tried, man. I tried. I had to eat. If I didn't eat, would not be good. What are you eating? I told you. I got, Nashville chicken. It was good stuff. I get it. Got to get that extra prey in so you don't have to see OSU again. I don't think it's going to happen, but, crazier things have happened, and it's been chaotic all year. Why not here on championship week as well? Something smothered in hot sauce. No, when I meant hot, I meant like hot, like to the touch. They'll give it to James Cook on a pitch. Nothing doing there. Tries to get outside. No gain, maybe even a loss there. 2nd down, up and coming for the Bulldogs. Bama upsets Georgia by 4. Heard it here first. What up, Alan? Alan's my good friend, my workout partner as well. So good to see you in the house, my friend. He's the reason why I was hungover this morning, but I'm good now. Bama upsets Georgia by 4. Heard it here first. Nice. I got 27-24. Georgia with the win. Here we go. 2nd and 10, up and coming. Stetson Bennett will work out of shotgun with no man in the backfield, 5 wide for the Bulldogs. 2 on the play clock. They run it all the way down. Bennett, plenty of time, great protection. Throws it down the middle, incomplete. It was intended for Pickens, who they've gotten back. He looks for a flag, nothing doing. 3rd down and 10, up and coming. See if the Alabama defense can get a stop early on here. Bro, that sounds good. It was delicious. Sounds like a hungry man meal. It's like a mega bowl. So, yeah, you're basically on target. I'm hungry AF. Me too. Not anymore, though. I was. Why does everyone say UGA hasn't had a close game this year? Did they not watch the first game of the season? Agreed. Florida was playing them tight, too, early in the – they've had some areas, but Florida was playing them tight until that absolutely debacle. Had a debacle in the end of the 2nd quarter. Good pressure there that time, and it's almost picked off by Bama, and he could have been off to the races had that happened. It is incomplete. It'll be 4th and 10, and Georgia will punt on their first possession. Over-under in this game is 50 points. Last I checked, I think it actually moved to 50.5. Either way, I got it being 51 points, so 27-24, right on the target. So expect a lot of this, a lot of punting and maybe some explosive plays here and there, but for the most part, these two teams are pretty known against each other to be, like I said, explosive plays every now and then, but mostly methodical on both ends of the football. Punt is a good one, fielded at the 7-yard line, fair caught. That's where Alabama will begin its first possession with Bryce Young, 3,901 yards on the season, a 68.9% completion percentage, 40 touchdowns, and just 4 interceptions. My man is having himself a year, even despite all the running back injuries and issues there, and some of the issues with the offensive line, and also injuries to on their offensive line. I like watching the Dogs more than when we wear red. Dang it, says M. Turner. Yeah, looking good on that first bit of that drive, but so far had to punt. So not the start that Georgia was absolutely hoping for. War Eagle, I hope Georgia loses the next 2 games. I hope Bama wins 7 more championships before I let UGA win 1. That is interesting that you started that with War Eagle and like you're rooting for Alabama. I know you guys don't like Georgia either, but still. What up, Daniel? Good to see you, my friend. Boo, please exit the chat room, says M. Turner. Mike is good. Thank you, Colton. Appreciate it. I probably should have already seen that. Houston is driving, says Dustin. Yeah, I will say this. If somebody in the chat, I see you, Dustin, if you want to, Dustin, that'd be great. Maybe like once every 20 minutes, can you guys like give me like a little copy and paste of, just the scores of the games? Because my internet's just shiesty, and so I can't really put it, I can't look it. I don't want to pull up any more tabs than what I got already, and I really want to know what's going on, especially with my bets. I got some bets in and stuff like that, so in my pick 'em and all that good stuff. Houston driving on Cincinnati. Dustin, it seems like Dustin texted me earlier. You're rooting for chaos. You got to be careful, man. We don't want too much chaos, man. Oklahoma State was a very overrated team. We wanted them to win, my friend, in my opinion. We wanted them to win so they could get in and if we potentially play them. We don't want too much chaos, man. We want this to be as easy as path as possible. I'd like to play Cincinnati first round, so whatever makes that happen, I'm down with. I am down with. So be careful what you wish for. There is a chance. The Ohio State fans have already brought it up, and I agree with them. There's a very, very outside shot that should a lot of things go their way and a lot of chaos happen, they could very much sneak back into things. Depends on how the committee looks at it. Go Dogs. I don't like Bama, says first name, last name. I'm rooting for Georgia too in a close one. Go Hawkeyes tonight. Jeffrey, you dirty, dirty dog. 24 in the house. Thanks for being here. Please do hit that like button if you don't mind. Here we go with Alabama. The one thing Georgia did do there is, get some yardage or whatever and end up pinning Alabama deep. So now Alabama will have to go 93 yards on this drive should they want to score a touchdown. And that's obviously what they want to do. 1st and 10, Bryce Young working out of shotgun. Man in motion. Play action, and he'll throw it out to Jameson Williams. Quick receiver. And he will get close to the first down. I don't think he got it. Ray, save that voice, man. We will need it later. I'll be here, Mark. I got it. This ain't my first rodeo, baby. Hey, Ray, Dogs fan here. Watching the game on mute with you calling the game. You got my respect. Can we get a Pro Dogs podcast or broadcast? I can't do Pro Dogs completely. I am rooting for Bulldogs, though, but I'm going to try to be relatively neutral, just a college football fan here, but I am rooting for Georgia. It's incomplete. Deep pass to Metchie on the right sideline. Just out of his reach. Metchie, the second leading receiver on Alabama behind Jameson Williams. 90 catches on the season. 1,045 yards, 7 touchdowns. Houston's up 3-0 on Cincinnati. Got it. You're ahead of me now. You're getting paused, says Mark. Ahead of you somehow. Yeah, you have to pause me and then play me at the same time. You'll get it. Most people do. It happens. They're going to hand the ball off. It's going to go to the left side. Gain of about 4 there. That was Brian Robinson Jr., so I hadn't been looking to see if he was going to play or not. He got injured last week, but it looks like he's in. So that's good news for Alabama. Just got back from the basketball game and hopped on the stream, said that Ohio State fan. Nice. Good deal, man. Thanks for being here, buddy. I appreciate you. 3rd and 5 for Alabama now. Georgia will send the blitz, and it's incomplete. Metchie can't hold on to it. Looked like a pretty good throw. I'll have to watch the replay. But Metchie cannot hold tight to it. Please give us Michigan versus Notre Dame in playoffs. I don't want that either. I want Cincinnati. It was a good throw, but it was really hard to catch by Metchie. I don't blame him. I thought he dropped it, but it wasn't it was a hard drop. I'm rooting for Cincinnati to play Michigan. That's the team I want to play. I wouldn't mind Notre Dame playing Georgia. I think Georgia would win that game, obviously, but Notre Dame and Georgia, this is a different Georgia team, but Notre Dame's been known to play Georgia tight, and they match up a lot better than some of these other teams do against them. So that wouldn't be bad if Notre Dame won. That'd be good news for Michigan. Jameson Williams with a nice open field tackle on the punt. Nothing doing for Georgia there. And Georgia will start its second possession and already a defensive battle. We're 2.5 minutes in, and this crowd is crazy. Rightfully so. 1 versus 3. Marbles on the line. Alabama wins, they're in. Georgia can pretty much do anything. What if Georgia lost by 45? They'd still be in, right? I'm going to get food. I'll be back later. Thanks, Ray. Love you. All right, Colton, have a good one, buddy. I love you too. Appreciate you, man. It would be wild if Cincy won the Natty. That would be wild, Jeffrey. But, it'd be wilder, my friend, if Michigan won the Natty. That'd be wild. Justin says, yup, I'm not rooting for chaos, LMAO. I wanted OK State and Cincy. Yeah, we needed it to be kind of dry today, and so far we're not off to a good start. It's not the worst thing that could happen, but OK State was definitely, dude, they could not block Baylor's front seven. And I was like, man, if we played Oklahoma State, we would kill this team. That all their weaknesses are against our strengths. They'd be in trouble. I just hope both teams have fun, Uncle Rico. I love it when you say that. Michigan going to send Georgia to the dog pound, says Benny. Let's see. Let's hope. I'm with you, Benny, or how most people think. Hey, I'm not the player. I'm not one of the players or the coach or whatever. So, they got to do it. Let me know if I'm loud enough. My mic always goes down like that. But, they got to get it done. It's not our responsibility, but we do have to focus on Iowa. I want to make sure we get that out of the way first so we can have some breathing room until late December and know that we're there. Know that we're actually there. Yo, man, I'm back also. Who do you think will be the top four if Georgia wasn't good or Alabama isn't the top four? If Georgia wasn't good or Alabama isn't top four. Oh, so you're saying if none of these two teams were in the top four? If that's your question, I would put Michigan 1, just off of the actual, how I would rank them. It'd be Michigan 1, Cincinnati 2, Notre Dame 3, and now with Oklahoma State losing, I would bring Ohio State up there. That's what I would rank, but that's not how I feel like the teams are. I don't think Cincinnati's the second best team in the nation, even if you excluded Georgia and Alabama. Ray, what it do, fam? Eric, good to see you, my friend. Best of luck to your boys today. I need y'all to win. I need y'all to win a tight one. I don't need it to be too much of a blowout. But, yeah, Bulldogs all day, baby. Best of luck, brother. Our teams might match up against each other, Michigan versus Georgia. It's possible. Good to see you, man. And they'll fake it. Stetson Bennett will. Choose Zamir White. He'll keep it himself. Nothing doing. No yardage gain. 2nd and 10 up and coming. Who do you think will win the Heisman? I think we're going to know that answer after this game. We're going to know. You got to see how Bryce Young plays. I believe if he struggles really badly, it'll be CJ Stroud. I believe if he plays okay, I think Bryce Young might win it. And if he plays great, he'll for sure win it. So it'll be interesting. I would vote for CJ Stroud personally, but most people have Bryce Young. He's the Vegas odds favorite. Bennett will throw on the run and complete it. 1 yard short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1. That was Mitchell on the catch. Watching the Cincy game is Benny. That's crazy. Touchdown Cincy, just like that. Noted. You watching Cincy and Houston. I mean, that's a good game too. But I'd be definitely flipping back and forth. That's for sure if it was me. Do you think Michigan covers with 12.5? I looked at my picks today, and I actually went with Iowa in that. So in my video, I went us by 14, and I think somewhere along the line I changed my mind. I'm not sure why, but I think we'll win. I just don't know if we're going to cover the 12.5. Cook on the reverse. It'll be a first down for Georgia out to the 44-yard line. Yeah, I'm going to go Iowa. I'm doing well so far. I'm 2-0 so far on my actual pool that I do, because they didn't have the games yesterday, but the ESPN Pick'em had the games from yesterday. I will never under any circumstances root for Michigan, but if the Bigs shut the SEC up, it wouldn't hurt my feelings too much. Yeah, that would help the pain, right? I've rooted for Ohio State a couple times in the past because of these Clemson fans around here. So I know what it feels like to have that little mix-up. Zamir White's going to go forward for 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2. Georgia definitely, winning the battle up front so far here against Bama. Ohio State isn't getting in. I don't think so either, but Benny, some of these Ohio State fans have convinced me there is a way. There is a way. More so than most years in this scenario. More so than most years, especially with Oklahoma State already going down. We need Cincy to go ahead and win. Lock it up. Stetson Bennett will hand the ball off to White. White has a seam again. He'll get to the 39-yard line. First down, Georgia. We don't deserve to be in, Benny. You guys got a pretty good squad, man. I know you got 2 losses, but easy choice for Heisman Kenneth Walker III. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, he's really good. Kenneth Walker is really good, obviously. It's just that one game that they're always going to hold against him with Ohio State, and it really isn't even his fault. It's Michigan State's fault for, falling down so quickly, and even though you fell down, you still got to give him the ball. 33 in the house. Thanks for being here. Hit that like button if you want the stream to grow larger. Zamir White will go forward again. Getting a heavy dosage of Zamir White here on this drive. He'll go forward for 3 yards. 2nd and 7. If they get in, I'll be surprised, brother. I think so too. It's a long shot. K9 for Heisman, says Mitch. Definitely not biased at all. Yes, K9 for Heisman. I mean, I like Kenneth Walker. I was kind of hating on him in my reaction video, but I was just mad the way Michigan lost. But he's a stud, and I think his coaching staff really kind of screwed him during that Ohio State game, and his secondary. 2nd and 7, 8:54 left here in this first quarter. Stetson Bennett will fake it to Cook and throw it out to the 19-yard line. That's complete. First down for Georgia. Nice play there. That was, I was about to say, Brock Bowers on the catch, 37 receptions, 652 yards this season. Actually, has the most yards out of any Georgia wide receiver / tight end this season. I don't have Bama's channel, says Benny. Oh, CBS? Oh, dang, that's a bummer. Walker for Heisman? Everybody likes Walker, don't they? Let's go Dogs, says Candy. All right, 1st and 10 here for Georgia. Knocking at the doorsteps here. They're going to give it to Cook on the sweep, and he will go forward for 6 yards. 2nd and 4 up and coming. I'm going to be watching the Cincy game in the stream at once. I think Harbaugh is going to have a plan and get into the Natty. I think we're going to go to the national championship game as well. But I think this game is really huge on that. I think if Alabama wins this game, I might go back on that. And obviously we have to take care of business today. But I believe Michigan's going to win against Iowa and beat Cincinnati. 2nd and 4 up and coming. Clock still running. We're halfway through this first quarter. Hand it to McIntosh out of the backfield. Nothing doing there. Half a yard gained. It'll be 3rd down and 3. I think Quinn Ewers should win the Heisman. Best 2 handoffs of all time. We should retire his jersey. Honest to goodness, Uncle Rico, I'm right there with you, my man. Between that and the hair, you got to give it to the guy. You can't deny him. Only he can deny himself. 3rd and 3 up and coming. Big 3rd down for Georgia. This is that game. It's a very cliche saying, but this is that kind of game where you got to try to score touchdowns in the red zone. Cliche thing to say, but it's just true. In these games, touchdowns matter. Ball snap. Stetson out of shotgun. Lots of time. Time goes away. He's sacked at the 25-yard line, so that's going to be a tough field goal too. I like Michigan and Georgia, says Eric. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to get, Eric, but I'm trying not to get too overly confident about it. 40 in the house. Thanks for being here, guys. If Bryce syncs up the joint, Hutch could steal the Heisman with an encore of last week. I do think he could, Slim. There's a better shot than people think of that, but I don't think Bryce is going to stink up the joint. I think he's got ice in his veins. I think he's going to play well enough today. Wait, there are other college football games besides Michigan and Iowa, said Jim B. Where you been, my man? Yeah, there are. There are. This figures to be a good one. Field goal kick is through. 3-0 Georgia strikes first. What up, Jim B, the godfather of On Tap Sports? So happy Michigan has been playing on Fox. Yeah, I like Fox. I guess that's good for your TV settings, right? Imagine Ohio State next season. We are going to be good. We are going to fix our defense and have arguably the best quarterback in college football. Yep, I know it, John. I believe all that to be true. Unfortunately, Mr. Summer says league loyalty. Nice. Not a Georgia fan, but go Dogs, says Atomic Boy. Nice. Yeah, same here, Atomic. Same here. 28-17 Georgia is the guess. Okay. A lot of people had 27-17 area, somewhere around there. So a lot like what you have. I know college football nerds, both of them said 27-17. I said 27-24 with a late touchdown, so I was close to theirs as well. We just need new teams in the playoffs. Ain't fun with the same teams always going. Yeah, that's mostly going to be the case unless craziness happens today. So that's why I want Bama to lose. That's another reason why I want Bama to lose and all that good stuff. Mainly because I don't like Bama, says Atomic Boy. I hope Georgia F's up Bryce Young so Stroud can win Heisman. Good point. There's something to root for here, that's for sure. Mr. Summer says, agreed. This Bama-Georgia game going to be good. I think so, Benny. It's going to be back and forth. It's, for anybody that, there's always a talk about the SEC and everything, and I think it's more even than people think between the SEC and the Big Ten. But, these games mean a lot, man. This has the same feel. It has the same feel, not for me personally, because I'm a Michigan fan, but it has the same feel as last week with Michigan versus Ohio State. I would say the only difference is Georgia doesn't really have too much to lose technically. So that would give me the edge on Michigan, Ohio State, because Michigan, Ohio State was actually like loser does not get in. It's fun when your team gets in a lot, Benny, says Jeffrey. I hope that ends up being the case for Michigan. We're about to turn the tide, right? I felt like it's going to go back and forth with low scoring. I agree, Benny. I think that's going to be the case. I think there's going to be a good game all throughout. Hey, Ray, where's the national championship game at again? As you told me, Dustin, Indianapolis, my friend. As you told me. I mentioned that in the last stream, actually. I even mentioned your name, gave you an at, and you weren't even there to hear it. Hutchinson or Haskins for Heisman? I like it. I'll take it, Atomic. Well, if you win the national championship, says Benny. Thoughts on Riley to USC baffles me a bit. It doesn't baffle me. A lot of people want it. Some people like that California lifestyle, and sure, he got a good, nice paycheck, and it's somewhere where he can very much compete and recruit really well. I expect it to be a very good hire, actually. I think it's going to be good for him. And every single point may count, says Mr. Summer. Agreed. Which Ohio State always gets to that game, then loses quite a bit, says Benny. Yeah, for all the times that Ohio State has really made a run or whatever, I got to imagine if I was an Ohio State fan, I wouldn't be disappointed. I'd be proud of my team, but it feels like they should have more national championships over these last couple of decades than what they do. So I'll take it. I really honestly believe Hassan Haskins, but a lot of that's got a lot to do with Alabama and Clemson and, some of these other teams that are just, have been that much better later on. I really honestly believe Hassan Haskins should at least get a trip to New York, not winning it, but the kid deserves it to at least go. I guess I can see it, but you're also selling, you got to remember that there's other guys that play good ball or whatever. I think Haskins is up there for sure. I'd have to really take a deep dive into it. 1st and 10 for Bama at the 25-yard line. Bryce Young going to do a play-action play. He's going to complete it to Metchie. Metchie's going to run backwards a little bit, get out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 9, 2nd and 1. Just got to twist that dagger, eh, Benny, says Jeffrey. Yeah, he does. He likes it. Okay, love you, Mommy, says John. All love, Jeffrey. He's laughing. Michigan, Ohio State will go to the shoe, both undefeated next year. Book it. Ooh, nice comment there, Taylor. Man, it's going to be tough for Michigan. You know that Iowa game. I know you live there. We got at Iowa, at Michigan State. It'll be difficult. We have a very easy they'll run the ball on 2nd down and 1. It's going to be close. Nakobe Dean with a nice tackle there. He's a beast. It'll be tough for us, but we have a favorable out-of-conference schedule. We should go into that Iowa game undefeated. 4th week of the season, I believe it is, maybe 5th. I'll take any playoff appearances over 0. Yeah, I agree, Uncle Rico. Bryce Young, 1st down over the middle. On 3rd and 1, that was Bolden on the catch. It's a tight end for Alabama. Well, actually, wide receiver. And 27 catches on the season, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns. 1st and 10, up and coming. Bryce Young going to hand the ball off. That's Trey Sanders in his first action of the day here. He'll gain 1 yard. Big Jordan Davis there for the stop. I want Bama to blow out Bama. Or Georgia to blow out Bama. Georgia to blow out Bama. Good Lord. I'm telling you, that's not – no, we want to be a close Georgia win. I get where you're saying. Oh, you know what, though? I don't know. I would take a close Georgia win. If they blow Alabama out, like, dude, Ohio State could get in. That's the kind of chaos I'm talking about, because they would then maybe consider dropping Alabama below Ohio State. in that scenario. They would maybe consider it. Bryce Young, pass is complete. Nice throw there. That was Latu with the catch. First down for Alabama. I want chaos to happen. Why you may be asking? Because this would be the craziest rankings in reaching the committee's bias. Yeah, I agree. It's going to put them to the test for sure. I'm sure they weren't happy to see OK State blow it today in that regard. Did I just see that BYU lost? Jameson Williams tries to make a nice one-handed catch. It's incomplete, though, to be 2nd and 10. Touchdown, Houston, 10-7. Houston over Cincinnati. Thanks for the updates, guys. That sounds like it's a pretty dang good game so far. Houston came to play, took the 10-7 lead, says Holy Snikes. Nice. I mean, I want Cincinnati to win, so that's bad for Michigan, but that's cool. It's a good game. I wonder if Georgia will pull the old quarterback switcheroo in the second half. It always works for Bama against us. Good point, M. Turner. Yeah, it's funny how that's kind of come into handy with Alabama with Hurts to Tagovailoa and then Tagovailoa to Hurts after the injury in 2018, I believe. Young, plenty of time to throw. Finally runs out of it. It's tipped at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. He was trying to find Brian Robinson on the screen. Bryce Young's laughing a little bit. It's 3rd and 10. Big is definitely better than the SEC this year, says Allen. Georgia, subpar, Bama, and then what? Ole Miss, haha. It's definitely competitive. It's close. Ohio State was too busy losing to Clemson. There we go. Big Ten is good, but SEC is slightly better. Alabama, Georgia, and Ole Miss is dangerous. Hopefully they go up against Big Ten in the bowl. I think that's a fair way to put it, though. I think it's real close. I'm not sure who I think is better. I do know Penn State beat Auburn. That's one of the few. I don't really go off of one game, though, but that's a good indicator. I think that's like, Bryce Young with the throw overshoots his man, and it'll be incomplete. They'll have to punt the football. That was Bolden on the intended pass. 10-7. Thanks again, Taylor. Thank you, Taylor, says Christina. The only Ohio State fans I like are on this channel. The rest are a-holes. They twisted that dagger into our hearts for years. There's got to be more out there, Benny. You just haven't found them yet. I think Alabama's winning this one, unfortunately, says Brendan. It's going to be close. It's going to be a good one, I think. So far, so good for Georgia. 3:39 left here in the first. First quarter has gone by quickly. Actually, I think they moved the Michigan State-Michigan game to Ann Arbor. Did they? I've never heard that. Let me know if you find a validity to that. Last I heard, they're keeping it at Michigan State. 3-0. We'll go to commercial break. 3:32 left in the first. Tom says, if Cincy also loses, then Notre Dame is in. Yes. Notre Dame might be in if Alabama loses as well. It depends, I guess. I guess it depends on how good of a game this is. I don't know if they would keep a 2-loss Alabama team out or not. I know they should. That's dumb. Young has better odds to win Heisman than Stroud yet. Yeah, OSU lost, but Stroud was good that game. He had a nice completion percentage and a couple touchdowns. He had 3 touchdowns, I believe. But Young was bad in the Auburn game. I agree. I'm with you. I'm a Michigan fan, obviously, but I think Stroud is now Young has had a lot of issues with running backs, but to me, it's like, Stroud, you can't make that excuse. You don't know how he would play if things were better, if he didn't have running back injuries and O-line problems and stuff like that. But to me, Stroud's been a little bit better. It's close. I want Georgia to skull drag Alabama, but I don't want to back into the playoffs, says Jeffrey. Wow, I get that. I feel like no matter what, I would want to get in there. I wouldn't care. But I understand what you're saying. Ohio State Notre Dame will be an interesting season opener. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one. Especially with a former Buckeye coaching the Irish. Good points there, Uncle Rico. I like that. Already looking forward to next year. That's a typical Ohio State fan. They always got to talk about next year. No, I'm just going to start acting like a cocky Michigan fan. They're just talking about next year. I would definitely like to see Michigan and Georgia in the Natty. That's definitely a fair matchup. Pretty good. I think most people would have Georgia. I think Georgia would be it's not as fair as you think, Benny. I think Georgia would be a 9-point. I'm pretty good at this stuff. I think they'll be a 9-point favorite against Michigan, but some of that could change. We could. I don't know how Georgia's going to look today. I don't know how Georgia's going to look, in their first semifinal game. I don't know how Michigan's going to look today or our first semifinal game, and we both got to get there first. But at the moment, if this game was being played at a neutral site right now, I believe Georgia would be favored by about 9 points in that game. Since he scores, says Benny. Oh, wait, so does that make it 14-10 Cincinnati? What a game. Back and forth there. Young should have lost his Heisman last week versus Auburn. Horrible game, held to 3 points with 90 seconds left. Auburn handed that opportunity to them on a silver platter with bad clock management. Yeah. God, how do you go out of bounds? I agree, Uncle Rico. I agree with you. All right, 1st and 10 for Georgia, starting at their 2-yard line here. Zamir White in the backfield with Stetson Bennett. And it looks like there might be a false start on the play, half a distance to the goal. Alabama versus Ohio State bowl game rematch. That'd be a fun one. Hopefully, but I think Ohio State's going to be in the Rose Bowl against Utah. Hopefully it's Georgia versus Michigan. It would be epic, I think. I think it would be good. I think Michigan could cover that 9. I just think it would be 9. Touchdown, Cincy. Cincy just took a handoff for 80 yards to the house, 14-10. Man, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of scoring in that one. I wonder what the over-under was for that. Cincy. Let's go Houston, says Tom. Is Cincy and Houston in the ACC? I definitely want Cincy to win. No, they're not, but I get what you're saying there, Benny. They're in the AAC. All right, 1st and 11 after the penalty. 3:32 left here in the first. Bennett gets the snap, quick throw to the flats. It'll gain 2 yards. 2nd and 9 up and coming. I thought Stroud made a lot of young player mistakes versus Michigan. Did you see many? No, I didn't see a lot, actually. I thought he did a lot of things right. There were bad snaps. Plenty of times he was under heavy duress all game long, and he was really accurate with the football. He didn't throw any interceptions. I think he had 3 touchdowns, 394 yards. I think he played great against Michigan. It definitely wasn't on him. He did get bailed out sometimes by good receiver play, but, I mean, he knew his receivers were good. He was willing to try to give him the ball that way. Stetson Bennett's going to roll out, throw. It's going to be complete for the first down to the 21-yard line. That's Burton on the catch. C.J. Stroud played one less game, and he and Young have similar stats. That Georgia defense, though, says Joker. It's solid. It is solid. Bennett in the flats to Zamir White. A lot of speed there for Zamir White. He's going to go forward for about 8 yards. 2nd and 2 up and coming. If Michigan plays like they played against Ohio State, should be a great game, says Benny. Yeah, I agree. If we play at our best, don't get me wrong, we can do it. But, I don't know how much we're going to be able to move Jordan Davis and some of those guys up front. It'd be a lot taller task against Georgia. Go Dogs, sick 'em, says Prima Luna. Nice. Good to have you in the house, my friend. I know you were here during the basketball streams for sure. 51 in the house. Thanks for being here, guys. Please do hit that like button if you haven't already. We're here for Alabama, Georgia. 3-0 Georgia with the early lead. Closing on the waning moments of the first quarter. James Cook up the middle. He'll go to the 33-yard line. First down, Georgia. Lamar, the GOAT, Jackson says, rah, 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 a la UGA fight. Rah, 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 rah. Don't sleep on Michigan's defense. No, I'm not sleeping on them. Nice first down pass to the 45-yard line to the tight end. First down, Georgia again. 3-0, Lamar says. Indeed. Stroud still put up big numbers with constant pressure, but he has 3 elite receivers, so for that, he is slightly overrated. Yeah, I get that. I definitely understand that aspect of it. But, it's one of those things. He makes his receivers better, and his receivers make him better. I get what your point is because, Bryce Young doesn't have as much around him, but he has plenty. He has a lot with Jameson Williams and Metchie and stuff. It's just, it's interesting to see. I get it. They're both good. Stetson Bennett on the play action. He'll throw deep. And it'll be complete. I think I saw a flag, though. Pickens on the catch. Well, I guess there is no flag. 1st and 10. Nice play call there. I think that's a big key for Georgia. I think Alabama secondary hasn't been particularly bad, but they have had spurts of bad play. And that time around, Cornerback didn't look around, couldn't locate the football. Pickens could. Gets the position and gets the catch. I like that idea if you're Georgia. I don't think that's going to work as much. Alabama likes to throw deep, but I don't think it's going to work in favor of Alabama as much. They like to throw deep, but I don't know if Georgia's going to give up many of those. Alabama, though, secondary is definitely where they're a little bit weaker, if there is a weakness on this defense. They'll run the ball up the gut to the left side. Gets to the 4-yard line, second down and goal for Georgia. Left out on Napoleon Dynamite is so 2004, but it's creative. Even Colin Coward uses it as a meme. Everybody loves Napoleon Dynamite. That'll end the first quarter. A good one for Georgia. They're looking to take a 10-0 lead. They got to score inside the red zone if they want to get this win here. I'm back. Had to leave the OSU stream. My mom wanted to take pics for Christmas cards. That's awesome, Garrett. Oh man, Christmas indeed. I don't mind Christmas pics. I just don't like the music. Good to see you again, Garrett, as always. I'm blaming our loss on the snow, says Jeffrey. Oh, don't you do it. The excuses are coming out. I think it's a viable excuse to an extent. I think it's a small one, but I think that you gotta be better. You got to be able to, I mean, it's November football. You got to know that that's a possibility or whatever, and you got to be tougher up front. I think you agree, though. I think you're joking around. Who has the best chance at beating Georgia this year? I think Vanderbilt can make a good game. Yeah, for sure. I'm going Vandy. They got a pretty good basketball squad, and Georgia's not that great at. Yeah, they got the win over Memphis the other day, but you're talking football. Gotcha. Yep, definitely the snow, says Jeffrey. Ohio gets snow, says Benny. Agreed. Cincy versus Houston game over under is 52.5. That's it. Wow, they're giving a lot of credit to Cincy's defense, I guess, coming into that. I would have definitely punched the over on that. Damn, Houston and Cincy have speed all over. Yeah, Cincy's pretty fast on offense. I don't know much about their defense. I'm just not worried about Cincy. I think we would pound them to pieces. I'm not sure about how big they are up front, but I just don't think they could be that big. I know I'm an ass. You guys can have that excuse, says Benny. And the sun was in our eyes, Benny, says Jeffrey. The sun was in the eyes. Man, I'm uncomfortable for some reason. I'm going to try this pillow here. Not helping much. And the sun was in our eyes, Benny. Yeah, that's definitely a viable excuse. I agree with that. Sun in the eyes in the snow. Mm-hmm. Love your content, bro, and hi. Thanks, Sirius. I appreciate you, my friend. Hello. Good to have you here. Ohio State give Bryce Young his best receiver. Laugh out loud. Oh, yeah, Jameson. Yeah. LMAO says, Benny, Georgia better run up the score on Alabama. I do not want that. I don't want the score to be run up. I don't want any chance for Ohio State to sneak in somehow. Hopefully after this, the college football nerds will shut up with their Bama bias, says Joker. Joker, I would challenge you to be a does that mean you don't like them? Like, tell me you're subscribed to their channel because they do a lot of hard work, man. And that's one thing that's tough with YouTube. I'm going to try to get away from more opinion. I don't know. I'll probably still be opinionated, but man, it's hard to get subscribers because people literally will not subscribe to you just because you don't root for a team or that somebody else roots for or whatever. Like they're like, I'm not going to subscribe to a Michigan fan. There are Ohio State fans who watch my channel, but they won't subscribe to my channel just because of that. And it's kind of annoying because it's like, I mean, I get it. Most people do. And regardless, I'm still getting the views, I guess. But, the subscribe helps for sure. And because of sports, some people just won't subscribe to a channel because somebody roots for a different team. And they'll dislike videos, which that doesn't matter because that actually helps with engagement and stuff. So it doesn't matter. But it's interesting to me, and it stinks in some ways. I would love to play Georgia in the snow, says Garrett. Oh, yeah, that would help us out. That would help us out to an extent, though. I mean, it wouldn't help us too much up front. They're still going to be good up front. What's up, fellas? How are we feeling today? Mark, I feel good. How about yourself? I know you like to lean a little bit conservative on these scenarios, and I can't blame you, especially you were right about UCLA last year in the basketball tournament. So this Iowa game kind of has that same feel, but I don't know if Iowa has a Johnny Juzang version of on their football team. So I feel okay. I'm a little anxious just because as Stetson Bennett will do a play action, he'll go, wow, what a grab there. Just kind of lobbed it up to his man, and it's caught by Washington for the touchdown. Georgia will go up 10-0. Yeah, Mark, I'm just a little anxious because You know it as a Michigan fan. If there was ever a team to be in the playoff scenario the last week of the season and blow it in the conference championship game, it would be Michigan. Like that would be our luck. So that's what's got me nervous. But I think this team is focused. I think we're ready. I think this is Harbaugh's year to like get over that hump or whatever. And it's been a good season. We've been resilient all season long. Outside of that, the second, really fourth quarter, a quarter and a half against Michigan State. Has anyone ever tried this Tostitos avocado salsa? I have, Benny. I don't like it. What do you think? I didn't like it at all. I thought it was going to be delicious. I like avocado stuff and everything, and I didn't like it at all. And I tried their avocado chips. No, Tostitos avocado chips, and those weren't good either. Come on, dogs. We need 7 here. Got him, M. Turner. Good job there. 10-0 is your score. I got to see if my ESPN will update. There it goes. Me when I see Alabama Crimson Tide throwing up. I like it, Prima Luna. The snow is a new excuse. I was expecting the refs as an excuse. That's first name, last name. There have been some ref people. I think most people are just joking around, though. I mean, honestly, it matters because that took away what Ohio State does well. But again, you play in the North, you got to know that that's a possibility, and you got to recruit in that manner. You got to be multifaceted or whatever and adjust. Does Ohio State absolutely have to have Cincinnati to lose? I still think they can have a chance if Bama and Michigan loses. There's no way they're going to jump Ohio State over. I mean, I would break something if they jumped Ohio State over Michigan. We would have the same amount of losses. We beat you guys we beat you guys. I mean, we were 8-point underdogs and won by 15. So I just don't think there would be any way unless we got swamped by Iowa. If we got swamped by Iowa, then it could be a possibility. I love avocados, but this dip isn't very good. So we agree on that, my friend. Just tuning in. How's the game looking so far? What up, Kermit? Good to see you, my friend. 10-0 Georgia early on. They're really controlling the line of scrimmage early on both sides of the football so far, which is something that most people said look out for. Even if Alabama loses close, do you think they are automatically out or could be kept in? Taylor, I definitely think there's a shot they get in even with 2 losses, and it's going to piss me off, man. I know it's a weird year, and so Oklahoma State losing really kind of hurts that idea. But, the one good thing that could come out of that is then Alabama would be 4 and Georgia would be 1, and maybe Alabama would beat Georgia the second time around, and that'd be better for Michigan. Incomplete there. Heavy pressure on Bryce Young and he took a hit on that one. That could possibly be good for Michigan. It's just these scenarios are crazy today. They're crazy. Tomorrow's gonna be a very interesting day during the college football playoff selection show because we definitely have a better shot against Alabama than we do Georgia. No, you guys just put a good old fashioned whooping on us. Yeah, Jeffrey, I know you're a class act, man. You're a class act, and I'd be the same way if unless something happened. If it was like the Michigan State game, Michigan State fans got mad at me. That's going to go for about 8 yards out of the backfield to Brian Robinson. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Michigan State fans got kind of mad at me because I know I'm right there. Like Michigan's coaching staff lost that football game. Michigan, now don't get me wrong, the other team has to do a lot of things right or whatever. They converted on 4th downs and did a really good job. They were very resilient, but for the most part, Michigan's coaching staff blew that one. I don't believe, and most people don't believe, the better team won that day. 3rd and 2, but I still give them kudos. I mean, they still had to get the job done. Wide open receiver. That could go to the house there. Terrible angle, too, Adam. That's a touchdown for Jameson Williams. That's a bad angle by the safety. That should not have gone for a touchdown. Nice throw by Bryce Young, and there must have been a miscommunication because my man was wide open down the middle of the field. I got to watch this replay. Man, Jameson Williams is fast. It was a bad angle by the safety, but he is still really quick. Yeah, that's a bad miscommunication. Not one person there. Sup, dude? Congrats to your That Team Up North team. Thanks, my friend. I appreciate you, Lekka. Thanks, my friend. The Big forced OSU to throw the game so they can keep it a rivalry. I like it, holy shnikes. 3 plays, 75 yards on that drive, only 44 seconds, and just like that, Alabama's back within 3. Early end of the second quarter. Eclipse me too, go dogs. I'm still OF&H, says Lekka. I respect that. You should be. Subscribe to Ray for chocolate chip cookies. I like it. That Ohio State fan's going to give them away. I like it. Thanks, my friend. Jam Slam says touchdown. Yes, indeed. That was quick. That was quick. Oh, you're talking about the different one. You're talking about the Georgia one. I think as long as Michigan doesn't turn the ball over, we should be okay. Be closer than we think. Yeah, I picked Iowa to cover the spread. What about you? I said 34-20 in my last video, and then I've changed my mind since. I'm going to say it's a little bit closer than that. I think we'll win by maybe 9 or 10 points. College football nerds are more fair than people think. It's mainly data based on their model. I really like their videos. I agree, Uncle Rico. And I know how hard it is to run a channel like that. I mean, it's draining, and it's another thing that's hard is like people will be so rude to you sometimes because I'm a Michigan fan and I watch college football, right? But I can't pay attention to all these teams. So, what I try to do is not act like a know-it-all. I just say I did my research and here's what I found. But, still people will say like, oh, this guy's an idiot. That player is not good at that. Like, he doesn't even know anything about our team. No, like I've watched your team play, but I'm not paying attention to, your third receiver. Your third receiver really well. I do not, because I'm a Michigan fan and I don't pay that close attention to your team. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for them because they're, it's just like that. And they don't have the same, they're not privy to like people on ESPN who have all the information, and researchers and stuff that really do all the work for them. And then they just have to memorize things, How close of a game Michigan will have against Iowa? I just had 9 or 10 points. I think we win by. Iowa has 0 offense. I'd be shocked if that game tonight was even close. It's the same thing with any Michigan fan here thinking about this. It's just Iowa's just one of those teams, man. They're one of those teams that they're not going to go away easily. So I think we're in for a dogfight. I think we're in for a dogfight that people might not be expecting. But yeah, I agree with you. They don't have offense, and I think that will be their Achilles heel in the long run. Ohio State went from 2-7. I think Michigan could 2 with a loss. Quite possible. I think we could drop further than that. I mean, you lost 2-7. That was to Michigan or whatever. This would be to Iowa, which isn't as good of a team. But we'll see. We still got that win over Ohio State, so I don't know how much they would weigh that, but it doesn't matter because we're not going to lose. So if Cincy loses, they can still get into the playoffs, right? They are undefeated and will only have 1 loss. No, if Cincy loses, they will not be in, Benny. I can promise you that. They won't have enough good wins on their resume. You can prepare for the rain, but you can't prepare for the snow, says Gabriel. I guess. My Iowa friend, Michigan looked pretty prepared for it. My Iowa friends, Iowa would jump Ohio State. I think there is no way. I don't think so, Taylor. I don't think so. You got to remember Iowa has 2 losses. They have 2 losses, and they're way worse losses than Ohio State has. So, they weigh that in, and I just, especially if they won close, they wouldn't jump Iowa over Ohio State, in my opinion. Just practice on an ice rink, says First Name. Yeah, that's the way to do it. 1st and 10 for Georgia after that long Alabama Jameson Williams touchdown. It'll be a complete pass to Burton for a gain of 2. Tell them to study, Taylor, says Benny. I don't understand people wanting us to back in. I want Day to be forced to deal with the defense in the offense. That's a good point, Jeffrey. It's a good point. I think where you're getting at, too, is you don't feel comfortable like you guys actually have a shot at winning the title with that defense. So I understand that. But me personally, I'm especially in this year where chaos has happened. I still think you guys could win the championship if you got in. So me personally, I would be rooting for that. They're going to hand it off to Zamir White out of the backfield. He'll go forward for 2 more yards. It'll be 3rd down and 3. I really don't feel like playing Ohio State again, says Benny. Yeah, me either. Touchdown Bama, says Jam Slam. Yes, indeed. War Eagle and go Bama, says Daniel. War Eagle and go Bama. I thought Brian Robinson was wearing slides for a second. Yeah. Old Brian Robinson. I'm actually shocked. I didn't think he was going to play in this game. I didn't really look up much on Twitter or anything, but his injury was a lower body injury, and I thought he was going to be out. But you're not going to get any kind of hints or anything out of Nick Saban. Oh, my goodness, Georgia, don't do this, Jimmy. Prima, you better strap in, man. I think it's going to be a back and forth affair, my friend. Stetson Bennett, incomplete pass on 3rd and 3. Alabama will get the ball back. Michigan can have a crappy game and lose against Ohio State. Houston kicked a field goal, 14-13 Cincy. Thank you, Holy Snikes. Appreciate that update. Good game there, huh? I got Cincy covering the spread. I need them to cover the spread. Can you guys give me some of the other scores or whatever that are going on right now? San Diego State's playing. if you don't mind. You don't have to, but San Diego State, I need that score, and there's a couple others. I need the scores. 13-14 Cincy and D. That'll go out of the end zone. So it'll be Alabama's ball after the commercial break, I'm assuming. Yeah, refs missed chop block on Williams' score. Oh, I didn't notice that, Majorison. I did not see that. What do you think needs to happen to get Aiden Hutchinson to New York? That's a good question. I like that's always shocking to me is he's got the third best Vegas odds to win the Heisman right now. Yet I don't even know if he's going to get an invite to New York. That's crazy. I think he needs a couple sacks today. I think, and that's a lot. That's a tall task. Say, oh, you need 2 sacks, but it's another chance for him to be on the prime. It's going to be harder against Iowa. I think they pass block pretty well. So we'll see. But Petrus has had moments where he doesn't take care of the ball. He usually takes care of the ball pretty well, but he's had bad moments. I think with the pressure Michigan could get on, that could help out a lot. Hutchinson can make a big difference. Glad we are now Facebook friends. Me too, my friend. Happy to do it. Happy to be friends with you. I always tell people, I speak my mind on Facebook or whatever. I don't really get into like debates or like political stuff or whatever. I don't do that, but I speak my mind on things. So I apologize in advance if you don't always agree with everything I say. But I really don't get how Ohio State could get in. Well, for one, so they're at 7. They just jumped Oklahoma State for sure. Okay. So that puts them at 6, Benny. If Cincinnati loses, Ohio State would then jump Cincinnati. They're going to give, even though Ohio State has 2 losses, Cincinnati has 1. They're still going to, they have no respect for Cincinnati, man, especially if, one of the one games that they had to win, they took care of Notre Dame, but now you had to win or get in or not, and they blew it. They're going to say, they're just going to do the eye test. They're going to say Ohio State's a better football team, That Oregon loss really hurts for Ohio State. So that's what people need to. But some of that stuff's out of sight, out of mind. That was so long ago. They're not going to punish them too much for the Michigan loss as much. So I think they would jump Cincinnati in that scenario. So now you're looking at 5. And now, if Alabama was to get stomped in this game, they may say, we don't want to see Alabama in the playoffs. If we got a 2-loss Alabama and a 2-loss Ohio State, let's see if Ohio State can take on Georgia, not Alabama, because we know they can't. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a lot that could happen. I don't think they could jump. And we didn't even talk about Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame lost to Cincinnati. So if Cincinnati loses to Houston, that now makes Notre Dame's one loss look worse. And then if Michigan was to curb stomp Iowa, that makes Ohio State's one of their losses look better. You see what I'm saying? They can then jump Notre Dame. There's a lot of things that could happen. If Cincinnati wins, I feel pretty confident that Ohio State's done for. Let me make sure of that. That'd be Georgia, Cincinnati, Michigan probably, and maybe Notre Dame. Well, I don't know. It could be close. There is a shot, though. There's for sure a shot. It's weird spread went all the way to 12.5 now. With that, I think Iowa covers. Yeah, mine was 11.5 on my pool, and I took Iowa to cover. I thought I was subscribed already, but I am now, even though you are a Michigan fan. Laugh out loud. Thanks, Gabriel. I appreciate it. You are the first person to say my name right. Nice. That team up north is going to wreck Iowa. What do you reckon? OH, by the way, I subbed on your last live. Becca, I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you. I just think we're going to win by 9 or 10. Yeah, I think it might not even be by that much. I think it might be tight in the first half and early into the third quarter. And I think we might get some plays when we need them most. 1st and 20 here now after a penalty for Alabama. Bryce Young, a little bit under pressure. Deep ball to Metchie. Beautiful ball there out towards the 50-yard line. It's caught. And Alabama's downfield attack is really working on Georgia. Much to my surprise, I said earlier that I don't think that's going to be the case. That was a corner route. Baylor can get in with 2 losses, so it's possible. I don't think Baylor can get in. They definitely didn't look good today, even with the Big 12 championship win. I know I heard them talking about it earlier on TV, but I don't see it. Jameson Williams with another big play, and Alabama's speed's really getting to Georgia right now. Big Ten was the best conference this year. They had 5 teams in the top 5, SEC only 2. True, at one point, but they kind of folded down the stretch with some injuries and stuff for Penn State and teams like that. No, the reason Ohio State lost is because it was Bill Nye's birthday and his cousin dog is a Michigan fan, and that's why Michigan won. Woo, I like that one, Gritty God. That's a good reason. I'll go right back to that chat. Let me first of all get rid of this loser that really drives me nuts. That naked person that's always whatever. 1st and 10, no gain on the run there for Alabama. Bump-a-bump-a-bum! My man T. Davis, the Clemson fan, says, looking forward to the Michigan and Iowa game, my friend T. Davis. Number one, thank you very much, my friend. Really appreciate you supporting the channel. T. Davis knows me from my Lego on Fuego college football days, my old channel that I used to have. Thanks, buddy. You the man, dude. You the man. We'll leave that on the screen, and I'm looking forward to it too, obviously. I'm starting to get a little anxious, a little nervous, slightly nervous, because I just, this has been a special season for Michigan, and I just want to see these boys make it. They'll flip it out to Brian Robinson, Bryce Young. Nice play there. I'm telling you right now, Bryce Young is, right now, these last two drives, he's winning the Heisman. If he can keep playing like this. He was running the ball there and flipped it to his man. Beautiful play. Brian Robinson was ready for it. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, T. Davis. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Clemson almost snuck back into that ACC championship game, didn't they? They almost found a way to get back in there. I think they'll be just fine. What do you think about Venables? Do you think he's going to Oklahoma? Or I've heard a lot of mixed reports about that. They're going to run the ball with Robinson up the gut. Nothing doing. No gain. 2nd down and 10. Where were we? Almost there. All right, here we go. Thanks again, T. Davis. I really appreciate you, my brother. If Michigan loses, I think they'll drop to 10-11. I don't think we would drop that far. We're at 2. No, we would never, especially if it's a close loss. No, they wouldn't drop us that far. And it's going to be a completed touchdown pass to Metchie in the corner of the end zone. Alabama takes the lead, 14-10. Bryce Young looking pretty solid right now. I tried to tell people, man, can't take Alabama. I don't care. If they can get time, they've had a lot of time up front so far for Bryce Young. If he gets time, look out, because the receivers and Bryce Young are not the issue. The issue has been up front, and I didn't think they could block Georgia this well, but they have. Just like that, Georgia was up 10-0 just a little while ago. If the Big Ten wins the Natty, I'd say they are the best conference this year. I think that kind of matters. I don't really like that debate usually because, I just don't think just because you're a team from your conference wins it all, that doesn't necessarily mean anything for the conference as a whole, always. If Michigan gets to the Natty, I hope they get Indy rocking and shows the SEC we got loud fans too. I'm not worried about our fans at all for sure, Jeffrey, because, we don't get there, so like we have a big fan base and they'll be there and I'm sure they'll be ruckus. I think they'll be ready. You don't think Ohio State would jump Michigan, so do you think Ohio State would drop lower than 7? Would Ohio State drop lower than 7? No. You're at 7. I don't think you're going to drop, especially with Oklahoma State losing. I don't think there's a way you drop. I don't think Michigan would drop very far. I actually am starting to think that, like, if Cincinnati were to lose, there's crazy things, man. There's so many crazy scenarios. I'm thinking in my head right now, Oklahoma State lost, right? Oklahoma State lost. So they're out of it. Cincinnati, if they were to lose, Michigan's already ahead of them with 1 loss, and Cincinnati has 0. So they would, even if let's say Michigan lost a close game, I think there's actually a way where Michigan, if Alabama were to win this game, there's a way Michigan could still get in even with a loss. It's a far-fetched kind of thing, but I think they would put a 2-loss Michigan in over Notre Dame in this scenario compared to their schedule, and they're not going to jump Ohio State over us. So I don't know. So much could happen, but off the top of my head, the hardest competition in that scenario then would be Baylor because they have the conference championship title. But I don't think the committee respects the Big 12 enough to do that. San Diego State is down 14-3. Thanks for the update. That stinks, though. I got San Diego State covering, so that stinks. 14-3 Utah State. Thanks for the update, guys. Win the Natty. Louisiana is up 14-7. That's good news. I got Louisiana covering. Ohio State is a revenge team. I couldn't find your Facebook, Ray. It's Ray Lego, and it's got it should be easy. I'm pretty sure I'm the only Ray Lego in the everybody else has found me. Try it's Ray Lego, and it's a blue. It's my son in a blue costume. Ohio State isn't getting in after that last loss, period. I wouldn't think so either, T. Davis, but there are some – it's just a weird year. There's a lot of, like, not a lot of people are sold on Notre Dame, and I don't know how much the committee is sold on them. And I think if Cincinnati were to lose, it'd be a bad look for Notre Dame. I think they would consider it. I wish this game was going a little more Georgia's way right now. Too close for me currently. Yep. It's more than that now. I have to get caught up on chats. That let me know how far I was behind on chats. Clemson got curb stomped by us last year. It would be pretty comfortable if we played you guys, but I would not put anything on it. That'd be cool to see Clemson Ohio State again. That's not going to happen though. Clemson hasn't done well enough this season to meet Ohio State. Ohio State's going to be in the Rose Bowl more likely against Utah. Georgia's trailed for 20 minutes total this season, and they're now behind in this one. They'll hand the ball off, and it'll go for 5 yards. Good gain there against Alabama's tough run defense. You better win, Bama. I agree. Well, no, we don't want Bama to win, Benny. We do not want Bama to win, Benny. We want Georgia to win, a tight one. This is definitely the year a defensive player could win the Heisman, says Dustin. Yeah, it's possible, Dustin. I agree. There's a lot of crazy things happening this year. I agree with you on that. Hello, what up, normal guy? Good to see you, my LSU fan. Aiden needed to contribute offensively like Charles Woodson returning punts. CW still only defense player to win the Heisman. Yeah, I agree with you, but and Bryce Young, I think he's wrapping it up right now. I mean, he's played pretty well this half, and unless he tanked in the second half, I don't care if they win or lose. He'd probably solidify it. He's made some good decisions so far in this game. Stetson Bennett on the pass. It's incomplete. Pass intended for Brock Bowers, the tight end. 3rd and 5 up and coming. Benny says for sure. Toledo and MSU just tipped off. Oh, and basketball, nice. Notre Dame won't get left out even with a Cincy loss. We'll see, Alan. We'll see. I don't know, man. Different committees think different ways, you know. I would think that Notre Dame right now is safer than Ohio State because they have them ranked ahead of Ohio State. But, you know, we'll see. 3rd and 5. Ohio State's a better football team than Notre Dame, though. I'll tell you that. I think Michigan could get in with the loss still. Oh, yeah. Actually, I just went over that, Joker. That's interesting. Yeah, I think we could, but I don't want – that'd be too close for comfort. 3rd and 5. It's incomplete to James Cook. Stetson Bennett looking a little rough right now, and Bryce Young's looking good. Alabama's off to a good start here. Wow, says Mr. Summer. Bryce making his Heisman case. Yep, I think so, Uncle Rico. I think there's a small chance Baylor could sneak in too. I do believe in that. I just don't think that they value the Big 12 that much this year. Rightfully so, too. Since he missed a 23-yard field goal, it stays 14-13 Cincy. Wow, can't have those kind of mistakes. Thank you again, T. Davis. You're the man, dude. I appreciate you, man. Says Benny. Thinking on your feet, says Mr. Summer. We need to get Lego to sponsor our guy, Ray. Ooh, I like that idea, Gabriel. No, I got some sponsor ideas in the future. I think in the future I'll get some sponsors. That'll take a Georgia bounce on the punt. It'll be down at the 5-yard line. Alabama will have to go 95 yards if they want a touchdown this time around. It's been some good punts in this game outside of that one that went in the touchback for both teams. Tide rolling down the field this drive. Yes, sir. They are moving the rock. They look comfortable. Bryce Young looks comfortable. If he can give them protection, Georgia's in a hell of a lot of trouble, honestly. I don't think you have anything to worry about. Iowa has no shot. I think we're okay. I don't know about saying they have no shot, though. They're so gritty, man. Metchie is the best Asian wide receiver since Hines Ward. Is Metchie Asian? Or are you joking? I didn't know he was Asian. Yes, I think Venables is going. I'm going to hate to lose him, but he's just too good not to have his own team. Yeah, and I bet you feel this way, T. Davis. You know, I've had my spats with some of the Clemson fans. You're good people. I wish all Clemson fans were like you. But some of my high school friends that I went to, they're not – some of them are great. Some of them are kind of tough and kind of cocky about Clemson. But I even with that, I think we all agree that Venables is a good, I like him. He's a stand-up person, great guy, and he's a hell of a coach. And I think he deserves that opportunity, and I'd be happy for him. And I think most Clemson fans would be sad to lose him, but happy for him. Very happy for him. He's tenacious, and Oklahoma just makes sense because that's where he's coached before. Yeah, I don't think we will have a problem with beating Iowa. I don't think so either, but, chaos has happened this year, so it's possible. It's as if Bama has figured it out, says Mr. Summer. So far, I'd agree. Alan, what up, man? Touchdown, Bama. I hope Uncle Lou is crapping himself, says Tom Phillips. Is he watching this game live, or is he just going to do a halftime reaction, overall reaction? Bama looks like they played possum after last week. Yeah, they look a little different, Gregory, don't they? If Bama wins, it's just, the players, last week was a rivalry game. That's what's great about college football. Different things happen. Sometimes it can be pretty predictable, but like this year, it's kind of wild. And, 1 week we see one version of such and such team, and the next week we see another version of them. Spill it. Just making sure my dog's alive. He's old. If Bama wins, do you think there's any possible way for Ohio State still? Very unlikely. I don't think so. Not if Bama wins. I don't think so, Joker. Man, Georgia better bring it on offense. Yep. Stetson Bennett, I know he's trying to act like he's not nervous, but I think he's starting to get nervous. He's getting a little bit of pressure on him. Bryce Young already has 189 yards passing and 2 touchdowns on these last 2 drives. And that went in a hurry. They punted on the first 2 drives. Man in motion for Alabama. They got a man in the backfield there with Bryce Young. He'll go back to pass. Gain of 7 on the play to Metchie. Ready for Get Georgia, Alabama? The big question today, and it's for today only for lunch, 37-cent Whopper at Burger King or an In-N-Out Burger, animal style. Ooh, I'm going In-N-Out Burger, my friend. Who cares if it's 37 cents? Don't do it. In-N-Out, baby. God. Why you got to do that to me, AIN? Now I'm hungry for some In-N-Out. I love it. Animal style. Oh, delicious. Up the gut with the run. Alabama, nothing doing. 3rd down and 3. Wake up. It's Kirby sucks with quarterbacks. Bennett cannot play this level. If only, I don't know. So you like JT Daniels over Bennett? I think Bennett's earned this job, but yeah, the pressure is getting to Bennett so far in this one. If only the game ended now. That's what I tried to tell people. Georgia's going to see a lot of things in this game that they have not seen all season. I didn't know how good they actually were because they have not been battle tested they haven't played a lot of good teams. 3rd and 2 here. 7.5 minutes left. We're halfway through the second quarter. Bryce Young steps up in the pocket, and it's a completed pass all the way out to the 37-yard line. 1st down, Alabama. If only the game ended now by 4 points, Bama would look pretty good. Still saying 31-27 Bama. I like it, Alan. I like it. I got 27-24, but it looks like there's going to be a lot more offense in this game than I thought. I felt like the over was going to be hit, but so far, man, we're well on the way to the over being hit. Well, if one of these teams scores again before the half. As Brian Robinson will have a big gain there, about 16 yards out to the 49-yard line of Georgia. Rumors about Josh Gaddis taking a head coaching job at Virginia. Interesting, Garrett. I don't know. I feel like Gaddis is going to stay there for a little bit, but, you can never blame the guy if he takes that opportunity. And I get it. 1st and 10, and they'll give it to Sanders, and he'll lose 4 yards on the play. Georgia eating it up in the backfield. Also, to that comment, Garrett, Michigan, if they continue to do well like they did this year, we're going to have to start getting used to that kind of stuff. We're going to have to start getting used to that kind of stuff, man. You're going to lose some pieces, players, coaches, everything. You're going to start to lose people because, it just gets the opportunities just come knocking elsewhere. 2nd and 12 up and coming for Alabama. Nobody in the backfield with Bryce Young. He'll double clutch there and be 1 yard short of the 1st down to Jameson Williams. This passing attack is crushing it for Alabama. Georgia doesn't have an answer. They're not getting too much pressure on Bryce Young. Sometimes they're not getting any at all, and that's way too much time to give for Jameson Williams, somebody as quick as him, to get open. 3rd and 1 here. And Alabama's going to hand it off, and it'll be a 1st down. Would Georgia drop to 4 if they lose and Cincy wins? Then possibly Michigan Cincy in the 1st round. No, I don't think so. I think Georgia would drop to 3. I hope that would happen, Tom, but I don't think they're going to do a back-to-back Alabama Georgia, and they'll have every reason not to do that. And oh man, I can't. You just now reminded me that I really need Georgia to win this game. 1st and 10, Bryce Young out of the pocket. And he's going to scramble, and he'll get the 1st down out to the 40, out to the, 22-yard line maybe? I can't even remember what yard line they're at. 22, I think. Yeah, this is making me, I forgot about that, man. Like, God, we need Georgia to win. I don't want to play Georgia 1st round of the playoffs. Like, Michigan needs a playoff win this year. This is a good year to get some really good momentum in a playoff win, and playing Georgia 1st round would suck. 1st and 10 now. Man in motion. Bryce Young's going to throw to his right side. Opposite of that man in motion. It'll be a gain of 6. Metchie with the catch. Oh, man, I'm getting stressed now. I forgot about that. I need Georgia to win this game. I wasn't saying that with more Big Ten teams in the top 10 than the SEC. So if the Big Ten wins the Natty, I'd say the Big Ten is the best. I mean, it matters. It matters, but it's just one. That's just one team, you know. Can't wait to watch Uncle Lou if Georgia loses. Yeah, he gonna be crunk, because Georgia. That would mean if Georgia can't beat Bama this year, like, when will they? You know, when will they? Ohio State could drop a rank or two because that win over Oregon looks bad now. They're not going to drop, Dustin. They're not going to drop. I want Notre Dame to get in just to make Brian Kelly look like more of a jerk, says Tom Phillips. I mean, the only shot, Dustin, where I could agree with you is Baylor I could see them jumping Baylor over Ohio State. It depends on how much value they're putting on the Big 12, but I think they would know that Ohio State's the better team, so I don't think they would do that. Young will throw it away on 3rd and 1. Because, I mean, Baylor and Ohio State had the same record. You know, so Baylor just got that one extra game that Ohio State would have crushed Oklahoma State, especially the way they played today. It'll be 4th and 2. Field goal up and coming. 70 in the house. Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate you. Hit that like button if you don't mind. Watching a good one here in the SEC. I want Notre Dame to get in just to make Brian Kelly look like more of a jerk. Yeah. Same here. What a douche. All right, 33-yard attempt. 3:33 left. Oh, that's kind of cool. How cool was that? And kick is barely good, just inside the upright. So there was 3:33 left in the second. It was a 33-yard kick, and it was for 3 points. I thought that's pretty cool. 3s across the board. I'm English and don't know much about college ball. Obviously, can see the rankings, but how much of a favorite are Georgia actually? Pac-Man, Georgia was favored in this game by 6.5 points. So that's basically almost 1 touchdown. Georgia better win, says that Ohio State fan. Yep, I meant Georgia. I agree. I need Georgia to win. I don't know why I said Bama, says Benny. If Michigan gets to the national championship game, I'm going to get some tickets, man. It's once in a lifetime to go there. I mean, in person. Nice, Mark. That's awesome. I don't make that kind of dough, so I will be streaming the game. Houston punted, so Cincy has the ball inside their own 20, leading 14-13. Thanks for the update. Holy, you the man. You the man. I appreciate it. Georgia blowing it, says Uncle Rico. Yes, I agree, because I want to play Georgia in the Natty, says Benny. Me too. I just want to get to the Natty and so that anything can happen at that point. But Georgia can score incredibly fast, says Joker. Yeah, they can. They can. This game's not this. It's a long game left. I don't want to see a Alabama-Georgia playoff rematch. I wouldn't watch it. I would watch it, but yeah, same here. Uncle Rico, Georgia blowing it, says Alan. Wow, you doing a triple header? I am, Matthew. I'm going to be tired, but it's cool. Nothing new there, says Alan. Georgia blowing it, yeah. Metchie's hometown was in Ontario. Oh, okay. Interesting. I did not know that. As a Clemson fan, I feel like, as most fan bases, we have a lot of bandwagon fans that don't understand the game. Yeah, I agree with that. My mom's one of those. Bobby says, just anxiously waiting for the game. Go blue. Me too, my friend. Very anxiously waiting. Starting to get, not nervous, but just, I just want to see Michigan make sure they take care of business today. I don't want it to be You can see it now with like the favorites in these games so far today. They're all struggling. A lot of them are struggling. Oklahoma State lost. You got Georgia right now down a touchdown. Cincinnati's in a tight one with Houston. And I just hope Michigan can take care of business and not make me sweat it. Metchie's mom is Taiwanese. Heinz Ward mom is Korean. Nice. I was a huge Heinz Ward fan growing up. Huge Heinz Ward fan. Everything Georgia is going to throw the game so the SEC can get 2 teams in. I don't believe in all that. I just think that Alabama's well coached and they have a lot of talent. And and everybody knew if they could play their A game and Georgia didn't necessarily play theirs, it's possible. Alabama's up by a touchdown right now, obviously. Bennett, nice rollout there. And fires it in traffic. It's going to be incomplete. Alabama hounding Bennett, hounding the receivers. Well, they got a flag. It looks like it might be on Bama. The Houston defense is swamping Cincinnati. I can imagine. It sounds like it. All of a sudden, that was an offensive game, and it's turned a lot slower, hasn't it? I think if Bama wins, then it's a defensive holding, so it'll be a first down automatically for Georgia. I think if Bama wins, then the only way OSU gets in, if Cincy loses, I think they will vault Notre Dame with the coaching change. It will be Bama 1, Michigan 2, Georgia 3, and Ohio State 4. It's quite possible. We're going to see. Man, I'm tired of this dude. Man. Like, how does this person keep coming back? Or how does an account like that? It's so stupid. Yeah, I block him. That means he's blocked from the channel. So I don't know. It's a bot. It's like a bot or whatever. But I don't know how. YouTube's got to get better. YouTube's had some tough times with spam issues over the last year or so. They'll do a reverse. That was a great play because that's a reverse to Bowers of all people. Like nobody saw that coming. The tight end, first down for Georgia. I think they're saying it was a holding on the play, but they didn't call it. Yeah, they are going to call it. It's holding on 86. So all for naught there for Georgia. I think the Fansville Dr. Pepper team is winning the Natty. They got to be the favorite, in my opinion. Spammer, get lost. I don't even think it's a real person. I think it's just like a computer. Georgia's suffering some shell shock right now. Yeah, again, I knew that Georgia was very good. They're a very good football team, but they have not. I didn't know how good they actually were. It's still early. I mean, it's not halftime yet, but I'm not shocked. Alabama's a very good football team, and we really don't know. We have not seen Georgia play a lot of good teams this season. And, the best defense they played was Clemson's, and they scored 10 points, and it was the first game of the season, but still. There'll be another pass interference on Alabama. There'll be a first down on Georgia, so Alabama giving them a break after that holding penalty. If Bama and Michigan both win, who do you think is number 1? I think Michigan should be number 1, Joker, but I think Bama will get number 1 because, well, for one, they've looked good in this game. So I may change my mind on that anyways. But the penalties on Kool-Aid. Who names their kid Kool-Aid? I'm sorry. It must be maybe it's not a God-given or his actual name, but I don't know. But yeah, I think it'll be Bama at 1, and I think it'll be Michigan at 2 and Georgia at 3. And that would suck. I don't want that scenario. Since he punted after going 3 and out, Alabama would then, just for one really good game against Georgia, they would then get to play Cincinnati at number 4 more than likely. It just doesn't seem fair to me. They've really had a rough year, even though they're 11-1. Stetson Bennett will go deep. That's definitely pass interference. Oh yeah, couldn't get out of his pocket. The referee couldn't. I don't know what this guy's complaining about for Alabama. It's odd. I mean, it was all clear as day pass interference. It looks like Alabama is really, really struggling here. Since he punted after going 3 and out, Houston has the ball just outside the 50. Nice. Benny, spammer alert, get rid of this clown. One is either Alabama or UM. Yep, it's going to come down to those two if Alabama wins. I've heard rumors of Clemson OC Tony Elliott to UVA. I wouldn't be hurt too bad by that. Yeah, I know you guys have had some issues with Elliott this season. I think it's a mix of a bunch of things with that offense, but Elliott's one of them. If Bama wins 14 plus over Georgia, I'm saying if they jump to number 1 because they would want a rematch between them in national championship. Yeah, I think so. I think at that point, if they win by 14 and comfortably, and they look in the second half like they have in the first, I would put them over Michigan then in that scenario, Fernando. But it's tough. It should be closer than people think. I think people will give them that ranking automatically almost just because of the SEC stuff, and I just hate that. I hate that. Georgia hasn't played much of anybody this season. Their best win was number 23, Arkansas. I agree, Brendan. I'll be here to help you on the Michigan live stream. Hopefully the comments stay clean. Benny, you the man. I think they'll be okay. Again, we've set such a good community up, man, that I think it's usually pretty good. 1st and 10. They'll go throw a screen out to – oh, this is going to be a touchdown. That's McKonkey on the touchdown catch. Nice play there by Georgia. A lot of speed there by McKonkey. McKonkey. Be 17-17 with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. What a game. This is as good as advertised, I think. Uncle Rico says Georgia's getting exposed. I think parts of them are for sure, but they're still a good team. If Georgia loses, does Bama jump Michigan? If we play Bama or Georgia, are screwed. If we play Bama or Georgia, we are screwed. Yeah, I mostly agree with that. And yes, I do think Bama would probably jump us. What if Bama blows Georgia out of the stadium? Are they still a lock? I asked that earlier. I said, what if Bama wins by 45? But because of the way the year has played out, I think Georgia would still I think Georgia's in no matter what. Yes, playing Georgia first would suck, but the way they are playing now, Michigan might have a chance. Yeah, but you got to remember that, and Michigan could do it, but part of the reason why they are playing the way they're playing now is kudos to Alabama. Alabama can do some things. A lot of their points right now have been because of the long pass, and that's not Michigan's forte, Wolverine fan says, go blue, my friend. That just goes to show anything can happen. Georgia can fall too. Yes, absolutely. I don't think anybody felt like this game was a gimme for Georgia. It's only 6.5 point favorite, and I picked Alabama to cover that favorite, so I knew it was going to be close. It might not be in the second half, but so far so good for that. Oregon just played like garbage tester. Yeah, that was ugly yesterday. Yep. So what's going on in the Cincy game? Well, they've been telling you, Kingpin. I think it's 14-13. Houston ball at like the 50. Just Cincinnati's winning. Just making it to the big game, I'd be happy, but the win would be better. Yeah, no joke. I agree. Because people will forget about Michigan after that, except for Michigan fans. Don't forget, and Ohio State fans who will make fun of us about it for years to come. Don't forget Notre Dame is a Michigan rival when they want to be. Only when they want to be, right? When they're not scared. When do we see them again? 2033 or something like that? On Tap Sports, expanding its coverage, spanning the globe to bring you the latest sports results from the English Premier League. Upset West Ham 3, Chelsea 2. Hello, Godcom. Says, hey, I said AIN again. I told you I was going to say Al. Like, why'd I forget? Al. Yeah, good stuff. Thank you for that. We need those. Now all we need is to do another NBA stream, right? And get all these Philippines, right? Brian Kelly did the same thing when he was at Cincinnati. When he left for Notre Dame, agreed. What a lame butt. With a Bama win and Michigan win, it's number 1 Bama, number 2 Georgia, number 3 Michigan, and number 4 Cincy. I agree with everything, but the other part. I think Michigan would be 2. It won't matter, obviously, but I think Michigan would be 2 in that scenario. Because Georgia doesn't have a better win. Georgia doesn't have a better win than Ohio State. They really don't even have a win close to Ohio State. And Michigan would be a conference champion. So I think Michigan would be 2 in that scenario, but it wouldn't matter. It's the same thing. General says, come on, Georgia. Justin says, yeah, I doubt Ohio State will drop any, but if they do, reasoning behind it would be the loss to Oregon looking really bad now, and Baylor playing a championship game, beat number 5 OK State, but I doubt it. Yeah, I can see that I can see it happening. I just don't think they respect Big 12. I think they've shown that. Short throw to Billingsley gets out to the 30-yard line. Little bit of a close to late hit by Georgia, but they're not going to call anything. Brady Hoke's team really struggled against Notre Dame in the early season matchup, but Brady was the most likable to me since Lloyd Carr, who really was an extremely private person. Yeah, I like Brady Hoke as a person for sure. I agree with you. I didn't know Lloyd Carr was that extremely private. I didn't know that about him. I didn't think he was like crazy, like outgoing, but I didn't think he was private. Short throw to Brian Robinson. It'll be a first down for Alabama, trying to work the clock, see if they can get some points here right before the half. Steal some points. All Tap Sports reports a final from Bundesliga. Borussia Dortmund 2. Bayern Munich 3. Nice. 3.5 hours. Go Blue. Win the Big Ten, please. It's getting there, man. It's getting there. I still got to set up the dang stream later, which sucks. I wish I already had that done. So as soon as I get off of this stream, I got to hurry up, set that stream up, eat again, and oh, man, whatever. I'll worry about it later. Hines Ward could sure block downfield and catch the ball to move the sticks. Yeah, I loved how serious he took blocking. I thought he was so great at that. All aspects of the game matter, man. Probably one of the best, or if not the best, blocking wide receiver, especially at his size, ever. Second and 10 for Alabama, 1:26 left here in the second quarter. Brian Robinson in the backfield with Bryce Young. 4 wide receivers. Look like Jameson Williams got a little bit of a jump. They're not going to call it, and they're going to go deep to Williams. So that would have been no flags or anything. I'm glad he didn't catch that, to be honest with you, because I felt like that was either he got a really good jump. It looked like he jumped early. Don't bring him up there watching. If they see it bothers you, they'll keep doing it. Could be a bot, but who knows? Good point, Benny. People who betted against Nick Saban are instantly regretting it. Yeah, I knew Alabama would cover this game. Well, I'm not saying I know for sure. It's still not going to happen. So best team in the country is Alabama on third down conversions of 7 yards or more, 46.5% this season. I felt confident they were going to cover the spread, though. We'll see. Young, lots of time to throw. 3rd and 10, man, wide open. John Metchie out to the 39-yard line of Georgia. Lost in transition there was Georgia again. You see the Streakers antenna, though. Sus. Lloyd Carr was a gym teacher at Belleville High School before he got the Michigan coaching job. The only reason I know is because my wife's sister was in his class. That is crazy. That's crazy. I don't know much about Lloyd Carr, like personal life kind of stuff. That's wild, Mark. Utah State 23, San Diego State 3. Dang it. Why'd I go with San Diego State? Why'd I do that? Bummer. Dude's name is Kool-Aid McKinstry. Yeah, it is. It is, Uncle Rico. Kool-Aid. Oh, yeah, says Jeffrey. Let me get right back to you, General. Bum. My man, Holy Shnikes. I appreciate you, my friend. $20 super chat says, pizza on me for the Big Ten championship game. Thanks, man. You're the best. Go Bucks, but since they're not playing, go Hawkeyes. So I just called you the best, and then I didn't read that last sentence. Thanks, my friend. We'll leave that up for just a second, okay? I appreciate you, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. And I wish I couldn't read. I'll just read that the other way around. Bryce Young, 2nd and 10. He'll escape out of the pocket. He's going to take it. Nice juke move. Fumbles. Who got it? Oh, Bryce Young got back. Oh, no. Okay, I read the last sentence. It says go Bucks, but since they're not playing, go Wolverines. Got it. Okay, cool. I misread that the first time around. Just kidding. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, Holy Nikes. Really do appreciate it. Appreciate everybody being here today, man, and supporting the channel. It's a fun one. That's definitely a fumble. Really appreciate you guys, and it's gonna be a fun one. We still got this is a great game. Obviously, still got Michigan, Iowa afterwards. Who's that on the ground? Is that Bryce Young on the ground? No, it's Metchie. Metchie's hurt. Ooh. Makes a cut.
Trying to stop and cut back inside. And he's rolled an ankle of his own. He felt that left side, didn't he? As he's trying to come back to the quarterback.
That is not good for Alabama, and Metchie's having a really good day.
Working on there, so it appears. Those stops sometimes just, that's where you get those injuries. These guys are running at such
Wow.
high speed.
You don't like to see that, man. I don't like when a game like this has been so amazing, you don't like to see a player like that go out. Let me find out where I was. They're going to take a timeout. Thanks again, Holy. I appreciate you, man. God bless you. General says, well, if Georgia loses and Michigan blows out Iowa, then Michigan should be 1, but otherwise they'll put Bama at 1. I agree. I don't think Michigan's going to end up with the 1 no matter what. UGA's, unless, who knows? I could see, like, if we just torch Iowa and really look good, I could see them considering it if Alabama was to win. UGA's offense only scored 3 on Clemson's D. Pick 6 was on the offense. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, Alan. Good point. Do defensive backs not know how to play DB? Like, damn, Bama. Yeah, they're hounding in terms of all the pass interference calls. Houston went the wrong way after getting 1 first down and had to punt the ball back to Cincy. Cincy has the ball outside the 20 with little over a minute till halftime, leading 14-13. Man, that game was a shootout right away, and now all of a sudden it has slowed down, hasn't it? Almost halftime, Cincy 14, Houston 13. Thank you, Benny. Appreciate you, my friend. Ohio State fans, who do you want Day to go out and get to run the defense? Let's see. Let's see what people say. Touchdown, Georgia. Yes, says General. I'm surprised the Green is playing for Houston. Totally forgot that he was a graduate transferred from Minnesota. Minnesota used to put them in the Wildcat. I don't know much about Green from Minnesota. Interesting. I want OSU to go get Marvin Lewis to be the defensive coordinator. Ooh, Marvin Lewis. I want Michigan to win because if Iowa beats Michigan and Michigan beat Ohio State. Okay. 1st and 10 for Alabama. All 3 timeouts, 38 seconds left here. Young gets the first down throw. Ball's caught by Slade Bolden on that. Be first down Alabama. Georgia would stay in with a loss, but to me, I see this as a playoff game no matter how many losses you have. I get what you're saying, Garrett. I don't know if you're trying to say that Alabama should not be in if they lose this game. I think they're one of the 4 best teams, but you can't take away Cincinnati if they were. But again, Alabama, a lot can happen. A lot can happen because if Cincinnati loses, all of a sudden that door is wide open. Thanks, friendly OSU fan, says General. We can just go for hours talking football, laugh out loud. I probably said the same thing 3 times today. Yeah, football's the best. I can talk for hours about it. Since he went 3 and out again, Houston has the ball, their own 31 with 38 seconds till halftime. Another 3 and out. Wow. Georgia win, Michigan and Cincy lose. College football playoff, Georgia, Notre Dame, Utah, and Baylor. Ha, ha, ha. That'd be mayhem. Antoine says, Michigan's running and passing game style reminds me of the late 80s 49ers with the pulling guards and counters and short passes. I don't think that modern teams are used to defending against this style. I agree. I said that earlier, Antoine, that Michigan's running blocks game doesn't get enough credit for how complex it is, and including from me. I don't say it enough. It's not enough to just say, we're running the ball again. It's Bryce Young's going to take off into the end zone. Touchdown, Bama. Wow. Real quickly. In a hurry, they did that. Wow. Houston took a knee, 14-13, Cincy at halftime. Thank you. Yeah, Antoine. Hey, thank you, Holy. Yeah, Antoine, I agree, though. I agree. I think Michigan's I've said it. It's not enough to just say, we're running the ball again. We're running the ball again. Like, that's all we do. Sometimes I make that mistake, and I need to remind people that Michigan's it's not just a run. It's a very complex scheme that's hard to figure out for the defensive side. On Tap Sports needs a new Associated Press teletype. Latest sports update from Cincinnati, Pete Rose, who started in 2N. Hi, Ray, says Lori. Hello, Lori. Good to see you, my friend. Sorry I'm late. All good. Better late than never. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Grinding, says Benny. It would be funny if both SEC teams got blown out in the playoffs. That'd be awesome. I'd love that, especially if Michigan was the one doing it. When Alabama loses, they will be saying that the turf is not regulation. I don't know if they're going to lose this game, man. They look pretty good. Thank you again, Holy. I appreciate you, man. I want Georgia to win because Cincy would be easier than Bama. By the way, did you see the Big 12 championship? Same here, Lori. And yes, I did. I called the Big 12 championship on the channel, my friend. And I'll be calling Michigan, Iowa later. I can feel my voice already being lost, but it's okay. I signed up for it today. Yes, thank you, Holy. Appreciate you. Thanks, Matthew, for saying that. Great day for pizza and college football. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Pizza and college football. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Holy's the man. Michigan sure looked better versus San Diego State. Hope we keep this up. Yeah, I heard. I didn't get to see the game, Lori, because I was calling the Oklahoma State Baylor game, but I heard we looked really good today. Heard Caleb Houston played really well. Benny says that LeMayo. Gregory says Iowa is good for ethanol which gives us more gas than the other white meat. Gregory, that's a good one. Go Wolverine, said Benny. Yes, sir. Young fumble, but got it back barely. Yep, indeed, Jam Slam. Go Blue, says Benny. They just lost a key player. Yeah, Metchie, that's a huge loss, and it didn't look good. Metchie injured. Indeed, Bama ain't no slouch. No, they're not. Score prediction for Michigan versus Iowa. I'm going to say we win by 9 or 10. I'm going to go let's go 30-20. I'll go 30-20. What do you think, Bobby? One of the biggest Michigan games in a while. Huge one today. But last week was bigger in terms of, last week was bigger on paper. But this week's huge too because if we got to win to make the playoffs. Georgia's going to run a draw. They're not going to go anywhere with it. That'll bring us to halftime, 24-17. Alabama with the lead. Interestingly enough, I said the final score is going to be 27-24 Georgia. I'm going to be off on that because Alabama has come out scoring, man. Georgia's defense has really had some breakdowns in the secondary. Credit also to Alabama's pass protection and deep down field ability. Might hurt a little bit if Metchie's out for the game. That might bother Alabama in the second half. It might be key to watch out for. We wanted Marcus Freeman, but we knew that wasn't realistic. Laugh out loud, said Prod. Yeah, went to Notre Dame. Congrats to him, man. Or stayed at Notre Dame and ended up the head coach there. Ray, who is your least team that isn't in the Big Ten? Least favorite team? Mine is Alabama. Least favorite team that's not in the Big Ten. Like my gut instinct always goes to Clemson, but I know I got my Clemson people in the house, and I like these Clemson people. It's just because I'm gonna take the fact that I live close to Clemson out of it. Okay, I'll take the fact that I live close to Clemson out of it and pretend that I didn't know too many Clemson fans or whatever, and I'll pick a team from there. I would say there's not really a lot of teams that I don't like. That's a good question. I'm like stuck on this one. There's not a lot of teams that I don't like. Trying to think of like SEC. I don't know. Florida fans have always been nice to me. Sometimes I get too much on the fan base of it. That's a really good question, Lori. You got me pinned on that one. You got me stuck. I mean, Notre Dame kind of seems like an answer there, but I don't really hate Notre Dame, honestly. Not like some Michigan fans do. I'd say Notre Dame or Oklahoma, somebody like that. If Bama wins and we win, are we the 3 seed or 1 seed? I'm going to say 2 seed. So neither of the above. I think Bama would go to 1. I think Georgia would go to 3. And Michigan would go to 2, say it 2. Bad Saturday to be an Aztec fan, but if Michigan routs Iowa, I could see, and Alabama wins barely, I think they would still jump Alabama over Michigan, but I could see them keeping Michigan over Alabama. But I don't think they want to do back-to-back Alabama versus Georgia, so I think they would do that. And Michigan would get the bad end of the deal there, having to play Georgia first round. But whatever. At some point, you got to beat them if you want to be the best, I guess. Bad Saturday to be an Aztec fan from San Diego State. First, SDSU gets stomped by Michigan in basketball. And now they're getting stomped by Utah State in football. But an Aztec fan today is better than an Ohio State fan. Yeah, that's true, Al. Good point. They're playing today, aren't they? A good point there. Touchdown, says Jam Slam. Holy crap, this is going to be a shootout. Yeah, I think it's gotten wild, with all the points being scored. I hope Georgia gets their stuff together. I think they'll play better in the second half, but this one's going to come down to the wire, I believe. I hope Georgia gets their stuff. Oh, got it. Bryce Young's getting the Heisman. That conversation is over. Oh, yeah, over, Uncle Rico. I agree, and probably deservingly so. He looks good today. He'd have to really blow it in the second half, and I don't even think that even would matter. I mean, he's well over 200 passing yards today, right? And he's accounted for all 3 of their touchdowns, I believe, and everything else. I was making fun of Harbaugh being submarine. Man, my back is killing me. I got to see if I can figure this out. Hold on one second, guys. Hold on one second, guys. I was making fun of Harbaugh being submarine captain. Dive. Now I wish he wasn't. Yeah, he ran all over. Good point, Majorison. Thanks for being in class act and still being here, though, bro. Georgia bull chokes. Who do you think OSU will play in their bowl game? I think Utah, more than likely, in the Rose Bowl, my friend. My son Garrett keeps showing me your streams. Now I am here. Laugh out loud. Go Blue. Hi, Brian. Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, Garrett's my boy, man. Lives here in South Carolina, where I am. And Brian, I don't know if he told you this, but apparently his aunt is Professor Rosencroft, who was my teacher in college, was my professor in college. That's wild, isn't it? I think Georgia is running away with it at the University of Tennessee in the second half because Metchie is out, and they can guess that about 50 to 60% of passes will go to Williams, and Georgia's offense will get rolling. That's a great point. I said that with Metchie, man. That's going to be a big deal. It's going to be a big deal, absolutely. Tom says, go blue, my friend. OSU, Ole Miss. I just think it's OSU and Utah. I mean, they're going to want OSU in the Rose Bowl for sure, and that's where Utah's going. Notre Dame is least favorite, now LSU. That's fair. That's fair. I remember Choke at Doak, Miracle at Michigan, Flutie Flakes. I've been fortunate enough to have seen some great college football games. Me too, my friend. So I don't remember Flutie. I don't think I was even alive at that point. What's Miracle at Michigan? What is that going to be the one, the Colorado Buffaloes one? There's just been a lot of things that have happened, or the punt one or whatever. Which one is actual Miracle at Michigan? Choke at Doak, though. I remember that. Least favorite for me is Tennessee. That's a good one. That's a good one. I went there, so I kind of have to like them, but I definitely get where you're coming from because their fans are pretty obnoxious. By the way, good luck tonight. OSU fan here rooting for you guys. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate that, my friend. That's classy. I appreciate that. We'll be here on this stream. USC because they can bait recruits with good weather. That's a good one. I thought about Southern Cal. They went in my mind. Hey, sorry I'm late to the stream. All good, Blizzy. Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here, brother. Bum. My man Dave says if Georgia gets blown out, $9.99 super chat. First of all, thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. Then I feel that they should not be in the playoffs, and Kurt should give PJ a bottle of the best whiskey or scotch, and I will give Scott Frost a big kick in the balls. I like that across the board, Dave. Yeah, I don't think they're going to get blown out for one, but even so, I think they should still get in. They've really looked dominant. It's not necessarily about who they played. Their schedule has been weak, and so I knew that Alabama had a shot in this one, but they looked very dominant all season long. So I think they should still get in, obviously, but I really would like it if they dropped to 4. I would love that. I don't think that would happen, but thanks again, Dave. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate the belief in the channel, man, and thanks for doing that. Michigan is my least favorite, says Jeffrey. Hey, he said outside of the Big Ten, Jeffrey. Follow the rules, Buckeye. I'm just kidding. Because of your cousin Philip Ray, your least favorite team is the Miami Dolphins. Oh, nah, I don't mind the Miami Dolphins. I actually kind of like them. I think their colors are cool. Laces out. Bum, my buddy Alan. What's up, man? Appreciate that. $13. Bama touchdown before the half. Won't be able to follow the second with you, Ray, but great job. Thanks, buddy. You the man, Alan. I appreciate you, man. What you guys getting into today? What you getting into? I drank with Alan yesterday, and I appreciate you letting me crash it. I drink. We drink. We were up late, man. What time we go to bed? Like 3:30? Yeah, I'm exhausted. That was gonna be tough, but whatever. I'll keep up. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you, man. We will see you Monday for the workout. Love these streams. Go blue. Also tell Eli I said thank you. Love these streams. Go blue. Yes, sir. Indeed. Go blue. 42-10 Michigan Hammer. Time go. That Michigan Hammer time. Go. That's assuming Harbaugh don't play struggle football. I need Harbaugh to play aggressive like he played against Ohio State. I won't want aggressive play calling, please. I don't think we're going to get that, Antoine, to be honest with you. For that 42-10 I would love that, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think sometimes we're going to outpower Iowa, and I think sometimes we're not. And I hope that they fade late in the game, but I know that this game's going to be kind of frustrating at moments because I think they're going to stop us on 3rd and 2s every now and then and stuff because we're going to try to run and not, I just personally would like every now and then a pass out of the flat to, out of Cade McNamara. I know he can complete that over and over again, and you got to keep the defense honest or whatever. So we'll see, but I just think they're going to get some stops on us, and it'll be a bigger dogfight than what we bargained for. But I think we get the win. I think we get the win, 30-20. Update from the Breslin Center: Toledo 23, Michigan State 43, putting a hurting on them, huh? My UVA team needs a coach after Bronco sadly left. Not sure about Gaddis though. Gaddis is pretty decent. It'd be interesting to see. He's definitely a good leader. He's a good leader. I think he'd be a pretty decent coach, honestly. I'm not a big night game. Sometimes I'm tired. Laugh out loud. Been on here on one all day. Yeah, dude, it's gonna be tough for me. Like I said, I went to bed at 3:30 yesterday, and I feel good compared to like how I felt this morning, but I feel okay. But I'm gonna try to do the playoff thing stream tomorrow, or whatever. If Michigan wins, I'm not gonna do it if we lose because I don't want to do it if we lose. But I'll probably try to do it tomorrow, and then I'll probably take a big old nap. I'll probably go to bed after that, like real early. I might be asleep tomorrow. Yeah, that's the thing. So I'm probably going to do the playoff thing tomorrow, and that will be our stream for Sunday. I won't do the 9 o'clock stream that I usually do. That way I can get to bed early and get a good night's rest for Monday and get some work in. I see no way Alabama doesn't jump Michigan if they beat Georgia. Yeah, I think that's quite likely going to be the case. I don't think it's always fair. If Michigan won by like 30 points today against Iowa, like why would Michigan be punished just because Alabama got a good win over Georgia, who we know they're great, but we don't know how great they actually are, and we're seeing that maybe they're not as good as people. They're good, obviously, but maybe they're not as dominant as people think. I don't know if Alabama, we're just how quickly we forget that they had to take 3 or 4 overtimes to beat Auburn just last week. I mean, it's crazy. Utah crushed Oregon, says Lori. Indeed. Took them to the woodshed, didn't they? The reason the Rose Bowl is so important to the Pac-12 and Big Ten is because they usually put those together. Why do you think USC and OSU have met so many times? Yeah, I knew that. Obviously, I knew that. I'm a Michigan fan, Blizzy. I think Georgia's throwing the game so they can get 2 teams in the playoffs. I don't buy that. They're trying. Cordell Stewart and the Colorado bus was a miracle at Michigan. Okay, got it. I figured that was the one you were talking about. Bounced off our guy's helmet. Yeah, that was 95, I want to say. Maybe 94. I think it was 95. I remember that. I remember where I was living. I remember when it happened. I remember what I did afterwards, everything. I was either 7 or 8. I dislike all the above, but you cool. Lecca, appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Blizzy has arrived. Let's go, says that Ohio State fan. My least favorite team is in any Florida school. Those definitely cross my mind as well, but some of the Florida fans have been good to me or whatever. Some of my actual Florida fans in my life or whatever have been pretty good to me and fair about that. They've been real, when we curb stomped them a couple times or whatever in the past, they were like, admirable or whatever. And then when we lost to them bad a while back in the Peach Bowl, they weren't too, I didn't have a lot of problems with them either. Will Iowa score more than 14 in your opinion? Yep. I said 30-20. So I guess so. I know that offense isn't good, but I just think they're, they'll have some drives or whatever here and there or whatever. I'm gonna say 30-20. What do you think, Garrett? I guess not. What's up, Ray? Had basketball practice earlier, but should be here for the remainder of streams. I can't believe I'm saying this, but go blue for tonight. What a class act, my friend. I appreciate that. Hope you've had a good day, my friend. What position do you play? Roll Tide Roll, says Jay. Let's get it. I'm just kidding. I need Georgia to win this one, my friend. If Bama wins a close one, and if Michigan 59-0, do you think we can be number 1? Yeah, I think we would be number 1 in that scenario. Come on, man. That'd be so SEC biased if that was the case that would just be unfair. But I don't think we're going to win 59-0, so I think we're okay on that. Too late. I seen that message, but thanks and go blue, says Kingpin. I'll be in and out of these games. Got about 20 Michigan fans in my home. Woo. Big gathering there, Fernando. They biting their nails. Hearing go blue in these walks, I want to grab my state pillow and smack them in their heads. You be nice, Fernando. You be nice, man. Tell them on Tap Sports said go blue, baby. Invite them to the channel. Let them know. Michigan coming off such a huge win, I think can actually be a disadvantage for Michigan. They used all their energy for Ohio State and will probably struggle tonight. I don't think we would struggle. I think we're going to be fine. I just think that Iowa is really going to bring it. And so they're not, they're 10-2, man. They play in the West and it's a weaker division and everything. And they haven't looked near as good as Michigan, but you can't, they're 10-2. They're still 10-2. They're a good football team. Roll Tide roll, says Jay. Ray, have predictions for Michigan, 30-20, my friend. Steel City, what's up, man? Good to see you. He says, what's up, Ray? Had basketball practice today earlier. Oh, another basketball practice, but should be on the remainder of the streams. What's up with y'all practicing on Saturdays? What's up with that? Streams tonight. I hate Iowa as a Penn State fan, so give me Michigan 38-10. I take that all day. Boy, I would take that all day. Alabama in with 2 losses. Could be the case. Could be the case. They played well today. You could definitely make that argument. I don't think it'd be fair, but you can make that argument. Feel bad for the depending on what happens. I mean, if Cincinnati loses, I think for sure Alabama probably gets in with 2 losses. The way they've looked today, I think it really would quite possibly happen. Oh, yeah, Baylor was all the way down to 9. Let's see what they got to say.
Deserves all the credit in the world, but I can't say you could put Baylor past either one of these teams. No way, no how. Superb season.
Yeah, they're saying no way Baylor gets in. Feel bad for the SEC, ACC, and Big 12 because they can't make the Rose Bowl? Well, they can. They've been there they've been there, but because it's sometimes a college football playoff game. I kind of missed that it was, I don't know. I like that, the conference affiliation thing, Lori, personally. I wish that never changed. Alabama hopefully loses so we can get into the playoffs, says that Ohio State fan. Oh, God. On Tap Sports Update. Man, this could be a disastrous day if why did Oklahoma State have to lose? Come on. On Tap Sports Update from the outer mystical world. Both Nostradamus and Miss Cleo from the Psychic Readers Network feel Utah will demolish and run roughshod over the sissified Ohio State defense. Boy, that was a tongueful. That was a tongueful, says Al. I think Utah and Ohio State will be kind of close for a while, but Olave, Wilson, and Jigba and Henderson are huge concerns for Utah. Yeah, a lot of speed there, but Showtime made a great point earlier. He said, some of those guys might not play in that game. Some of those guys are going pro. I have a lot of tables. You're good. You're good. My predictions are 27-17 Michigan. Let's go. Oh, you got a 10-point win as well. That's very close to mine. Good one, Lori. Sorry, Ray. I commented again as Bomb Brother Sports, but I play small forward or power forward. Oh, okay. Got you. I forgot that. I forgot that was you as well. Power forward. Nice. Good deal, man. Good deal. I wish I was that strong and big. I was a point guard. Bobby says 34-21. Good. I take that. That's covers the spread. I want Michigan to go against Alabama and completely destroy Bama coming from a Buckeye. Yeah, we'd have a tough time against Bama, man. We'd have a tough time against them. I don't think we would get the win. I think we would lose to Bama or Georgia. So I really want to get a playoff win. So I really was hoping we'd end up with Cincinnati. And the more and more this day goes by and less and less, I think that's going to happen. I'm tired of hearing how the SEC is the best conference. Go big. I like it, Jeffrey. I like it. Got to go, my man Ray. I will be back for the game. Don't tell anybody I said go blue. I like it. I will tell everybody. It's on the internet. I'm going to actually make a separate video for this after the game. This will be my reaction video of just you saying that you go blue. Have a good one, brother. We'll see you later. Thanks for being here. Miracle Michigan was 94. Okay, thanks, Gregory. And I think I'm over it now. Cordell Slash played for the Steelers and made me wonder how he ever made that play. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that was wild. I remember it. I can remember it in my head. I don't remember whose helmet it hit. Sometimes I want to say Ty Law, but I think that's wrong, right? I don't think it was Ty Law. Man, these games got me nervous for Michigan. Yeah, it's been a crazy day. I've been thinking that there's been so many upsets that it's like, are we going to fall victim to this stuff too? Iowa can just be unpredictable as Purdue at times, but Iowa's ranked, so automatic Michigan win. Yeah, hopefully so. Hopefully. Damn it, Cincinnati, says Lecca. Yeah, we're going to need Cincy to take care of it. Ray, I just talked to your former landlady at Encino. She's putting her house up as collateral at Caesar Sportsbook in Las Vegas. She's all in, taking the underdog Utah on the points versus the Buckeyes. I like it. She is actually living in I called up with her a while back ago. She's living in is a roommate. I had a roommate. I don't know if that's who you're talking about, but I had a roommate and she lives in Montana now. Yeah, she moved to Montana. She moved to Oregon and then she moved to Montana. She goes all over the place. She's lived in Brazil. She's lived in New York. Gregory says Oh, Ohio. I get what you're saying. Cincinnati just scored a touchdown, says first name, last name. Oh, already? They're back from the half? Nice. Oh, God, he's canceling us fans for saying go blue. Jokes, by the way. Go blue. I ain't canceling. Since he went for it on 4th and 3 and got a pass interference call, they were able to cash in for a touchdown to go up 21-3. 21-13. I like it. I'll take that. I hope Cincinnati covers. I got them covering. Man, I'll tell you one thing that's tough. You can tell I still have energy. I'm good to go. I just one thing that's hard about streaming is you have to, I don't know if most streamers do this or if they have good enough lighting in their place already. I'm in an apartment with not great lighting, so I have actual studio lights, and it can really drain your energy. You know, it drains your energy because these are bright LED lights, just really taking it out of you. Got it. Thanks, Holy. Appreciate you, my friend. Just woke up, says normal guy. Look at you in Louisiana, just sleeping in. As a Michigan fan, I know it'll be a tough game, 28-13, but I'm hoping we win by more than that. Go blue. That doesn't sound 15-point win is not really a tough game. I think it'll be tougher than that. Before today, I thought Georgia might not be as good as people think because they haven't had a tough test like this, and I am right. You are, Lori. I thought the same thing. I mentioned that in that preview video. I felt that way for sure. I think Al hates OSU. Pain, says Blizzy. I think so. I feel sick, says normal guy. Uh-oh. Get some Tums. Get some Pepto. I don't know what kind of sickness you got. Hope you feel better, brother. Wow, San Diego State is bad. I should have known not to bet for the Brady Hoke team. The underdogs are like covering like crazy today, aren't they? Who do you think are the best 4 teams in college football? Not necessarily record-wise, just the best teams. That's a good question, Bobby. I said it earlier. I'm still going to stick with Georgia, so it'd be a better question even after the game because I would probably change my mind, but I don't know what's going to happen in the second half. So, right before coming into today, I thought the best 4 teams were Georgia, Alabama. I felt like Alabama was better than Michigan, and that's coming from a Michigan fan. Michigan and Ohio State. Those are my top 4. That's who I think in order the 4 best teams are. And if Alabama wins today, I would have put them at 1. I'd put Georgia at 2. I'd put Michigan at 3 and Ohio State at 4. That would be mine. But I know that's not how it's going to work. That's not how rankings work, like you said. I hope that Michigan opened up Pandora's box finally and blows out Iowa and more. Go blue. I hope so too, my friend. Hope so too, Mark. Next week, Purdue will be ranked number 1 in college basketball. They've earned it, to be honest with you. They've looked good. Uncle Rico says since the interception. Cincinnati taking advantage of Houston here in the second half so far, huh? And Houston just threw an interception. Yep. Mom brought home Guy's Pizza. Let's go. Wow, what a day. I like that. I'll give you my address, Garrett, so you can go ahead and bring that my way. That last Alabama game had me shaking. Yep, it was a wild one. Alabama and Auburn, that was a wild one. It was a good one. I meant 28-23, by the way. Okay, that's a little different, Kingpin. I get that. Well, I'll be back for your that team up north live. Good stuff, though. Appreciate you. Thanks, Leck. I appreciate you, my friend. Go Bucks. Yes, sir. I'll say it now because we won. I'm just kidding. Have a good one, buddy. I hope to see you later, man. God bless you, man. Georgia already has given up 4 times their season average. Yeah, I mean, it's true that they're now going against a good team, a really good team, and we're kind of seeing that Georgia still a great team and still competitive, and but it's a little different when you're playing against a solid Nick Saban coach squad. I agree with that. I agree 100%, says Bobby. Thanks, my friend. Yep, I think that's fair. I think it's fair ranking. I think that's the right ranking, honestly. Since my mom's asleep, I'm just going to keep saying go blue. She's not awake, so she won't throw me out of the house. She doesn't actually. She's just a diehard Buckeye fan. There you go. I think you should buy her like a Michigan shirt, to be honest with you. Since he just picked off Houston and has it just outside the Houston 20. I like that, man. Since he touchdown, wow, that was quick. 28-13, just like that. That's good news, man. That's good news for Michigan. I think that's good news for us. I don't know how the rest of the day is going to play out now. Also today, USPS just delivered my life Size OSU helmet replica. Of course, it comes the week after we lost, just like that Trey Sermon jersey that came literally the day after we lost. It's like you don't want to see it at that point. Since he just scored again, gone up 28-13. Great start to the second half for Cincy. Yeah, sir, sounds like it. Blizzy, I don't hate Ohio State, just giving props to Utah, who got better and better each football week. Oregon is always a soft team. 2 easy Utah wins versus Oregon shouldn't have been a surprise too, though. This is why you never count out Saban and the Tide, says Kingpin. Yep, you don't. And people have been trying to say that, but still people wanted to hype up Georgia too much. And it's only been 1 half, and it's only 7 points. So and Metchie's now probably out for the game. So that's going to be a big deal, obviously. Not looking good for Ohio State playoff hopes right now, but Championship Saturday is still fantastic. All these games are great. Yeah, Showtime, I think that Cincinnati second half so far has really, really hurt them. And Georgia's not really taking care of business either. Admit that Juwan Howard's winning streak spoiled us last year, especially with the Michigan football season. Yeah, I agree with that. I'm trying not to be that's been a tough thing with the basketball team. I got overly excited, and now I'm like having to be brought back down to reality. See, this team might be a rebuilding year, and we'll see. We'll see. Maybe we can change things. I mean, we looked good today, apparently. I'll have to go back and watch that game. Georgia will have to go through Bama twice to win the Natty. Quite likely. I agree. I wouldn't count Georgia out yet. Nope, definitely not, especially with Metchie being injured. I think that's going to, Alabama has a lot of wide receiver depth, so they're fine to an extent, but Metchie's going to be a big loss. Second leading receiver, has the most receptions for Alabama on the season by a long shot. He has 90 compared to Jameson Williams 61. But he has 1,045 yards and 7 touchdowns. That's a big loss if he doesn't return, and I don't think he's going to return based on what I saw. I will never buy a Michigan shirt as a Buckeye fan, but I'll respect them despite being rivals. I believe being kind-hearted to each other is the way to go. Go Bucks, go Blue. Blizzy, that's the good stuff across the board, my friend. I agree with you. Checked out Uncle Lou's halftime message. He's sweating it. I'm sure he's upset too. I'm sure he is. I think Utah could upset Ohio State. Big physical offline, and OSU will have guys not play to stay healthy for NFL draft. I think you got a good point, though. I think you have some great points there, Showtime. I'm still going to go Ohio State in that game if they play each other, but we'll see. Ray, who is your favorite team that isn't in the Big Ten? Okay, favorite. That's a good question. Favorite team not in the Big Ten. Trying to think. I always go to conference right away or whatever. These are the hardest questions, Lori. I've always liked Oregon. I've always liked Oregon. I like their jerseys and stuff, and I like their fan base and how passionate they are. So they're up there. Oregon's up there for me. Washington, I like a lot. They're up there for me. Washington is. I like Utah. Picking a lot of Pac-12 teams here. I like Pac-12. I like Pac-12. I don't mind Texas, but I think I would not like Texas if I live near Texas. But I've always kind of rooted for them to come back from what they've gone through from like the seasons they've had. But I'm sure most people would disagree with that because when Texas was great, like. And I'm gonna pick one more. Let's see. Well, I thought I was going to pick one more. I can't really think of another team that is a favorite team of mine outside of the Big Ten. I think that gave a lot of answers, though. I agree. Out of the last 2 Utah-Oregon games, Utah has outscored them 76-13. Like, dang, Oregon always overrated. Yeah, no joke. Another answer to that, Lori, is Boise State. I like Boise State a lot. Have for a while. What happened? Well, we're just now getting started for the second half. It's the third quarter. Kickoff went out of the back of the end zone. It'll be Alabama football. Here we go. Bama got so lucky winning last week, but they look great today. Agreed, man. That just shows how week to week. And when you got good coaching like Nick Saban. They just said, all right, I missed that, what they said about Metchie. Can somebody tell me what happened to him? She said it just now, and I missed it. I know he will not return, but I don't know what it is. My favorite is Virginia because that's where I went to graduate school. Oh, Virginia. That's a good one, Lori. I actually thought about them today because the whole Bronco Mendenhall thing or whatever, and I like them a lot. That's a good one. Bryce Young will flip it out into the flats to Jameson Williams. He'll go for 9 yards. 2nd and 1 up and coming. Lori, I went to the UMBC Virginia game, the 16-1 upset in basketball. And then, so I was actually at that game. It was awesome. Like, it's crazy to watch a 16 beat a 1. And kudos to Virginia. Very next year going to win it all. That was awesome. I was rooting for him to do it too. 2nd and 1 now for Alabama. At the 34-yard line. Bryce Young over the middle, incomplete pass. That was intended for Billingsley. It'll be 3rd and 1 up and coming. Notice how everyone always talks crap about Brady. Then he goes and wins the Super Bowl. Saban the same way. Good point. Good point. Best way to prove somebody wrong is to just do it and shut them up. Took a nap at 3. I need a nap. I'm with you. I look at it this way, UM fans. Either way, there's a team from Ohio making the playoffs. LOL. Oh, goodness, Showtime. Don't try to make yourself feel better. Don't make that. I hope we play that team from Ohio, but I don't think we're going to get to because Georgia's blowing it. Robinson with the carry. He'll get the first down to the 40. I'm going to miss these chats when you get big and have 100,000 live viewers. Ralph, I appreciate that, my friend. I don't think we'll ever have that much because, people do have TVs and stuff, and some people don't care to hang out on the community. But I think we can get to a point where we'll have like 5,000 or so at any moment. And I'll try to slow them down. We'll still be okay. Showtime's Utah always plays football the right way, running the ball a priority over passing the ball. Utah is the closest the Pac-12, says Al. 1st and 10 for Alabama, and they'll run it right side. That'll be 5 more yards for Brian Robinson. Huge for Alabama that Brian Robinson was able to come back in this game. If they had no Robinson and no Metchie, that could be trouble for them. But right now, Robinson's able to carry this load right now and really take a lot of pressure off of some of these other guys. Yards per rush for Alabama against that vaunted Georgia defense is 6 yards. So, of course, Bryce Young's playing well and that run game's going well, and Georgia's defense is not looking great today against a really good offense, obviously. Bryce Young deep to Jameson Williams. Touchdown, Bama. Jameson Williams is a quick little booger, and Bryce Young can really throw the rock. Hello, Heisman Trophy for Bryce Young. That's a wrap, man. And Georgia's in a heap of trouble. And it sucks. It sucks so bad for Michigan because everything Alabama's doing right now, throwing over the top, Michigan's kind of capable of doing it, but we don't have Bryce Young, man. And we don't have Jameson Williams. We got some receivers that are good and can beat you downfield, but I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. The way we play is not a good matchup against Georgia, I don't think. My favorite outside the Big Ten team is Georgia has been for years. They never give us problems. My friend is a Georgia fan, and they have a nice fan base. See, I've heard nothing but bad about Georgia's fan base, but I could be wrong. I've never met a bad Georgia fan, but I've heard really bad things about people who've gone to their games and stuff. Seems like Wisconsin or Penn State style, says Al, talking about Utah. Makes sense. I've been an Alabama fan for 7 years. That's a good bit. It's a good bit. If Bama wins, I think they put Bama 1, Michigan 2, Georgia 3, and Cincy 4. I agree with that, Showtime, and that stresses me out. Ugh. It stresses me out because now you have to beat Georgia and Bama to win the national championship, and that ain't happening. So it is what it is. I didn't really expect to win the national championship this year anyways, but we had a good chance to beat Cincinnati, and then all we have to do is bring our A game against Georgia, and we're good to go. And all of a sudden, that does not look favorable. My least favorite team outside of the Big Ten are the Longhorns. They are just like the Cowboys, saying they'll win it all, and they choke. Ooh, now that you say Cowboys, I like Oklahoma State too. They're one of my favorite teams. Good point. I can see why people don't like Texas, but agree. Showtime, says Mark. Say Miami. Schellenberger put us on the map from Michigan. Miami. Okay. I'm not big on Miami. I got to be honest with you. I'm not big on them. Sorry, my friend. I'm sorry. My favorite football league outside the Big Ten is the Ivy League. Why? No athletic football scholarships in the Ivy League. Well, it used to be. Students first, athletes second. There you go. I like that. I don't mind that. That is a joke with UM fans not calling us Ohio State and saying Ohio. Yes, sir. OHIO. That's it. No state. The UMBC versus Virginia will always be remembered, and I was shocked. I was kind of rooting for UMBC because I wanted to see 16 beat a 1. It was awesome. I can't believe I got to see that live in person. And it wasn't even just that. North Carolina lost to Texas A&M in the second round, and so it really opened the doors for Michigan's region, and we ended up winning that region and going to the championship game before we got stomped by Villanova. But that was just awesome. It was very memorable for me. It was a friend of mine's bachelor party, and he was actually a North Carolina fan, so it didn't go perfect for him, but he really enjoyed it. Hey, Georgia 1980. Yeah. Yep. Not looking good for them, man. They just cannot get over this Alabama hump, can they? Houston went 3 and out and punted it back to Cincy. Cincy will start the drive at their own 37-yard line. Thanks for the update, my friend. Man, oh, man, Cincy. Looking good in the second half here. Touchdown says Jam Slam. Yep, my God says Uncle Rico. Yeah, what a throw, what a catch, what a route. If Cincy wins, they will make it. Even if Bama wins, it will be 2 SEC teams as usual, and then one spot open. Hopefully it's filled by Michigan. Got to believe that's the case, but now we got to play Georgia and Alabama to win it all. Yeah, okay. That ain't going to happen. If that happened, if we beat Ohio State, Georgia, and Alabama, good Lord. I mean, we would deserve that championship. Bryce has all the time in the world. Yep. Their pass protection has been all world today. All world. And when you give Bryce Young too much time to throw, man, he's going to throw for over 400 yards today, isn't he? Maybe even more than that. What's he at right now, I wonder? Oh, boy, and Williams transferred because he wasn't going to start at OSU. Crazy. Yeah. Yeah, Williams is very talented. 350 yards he has. Good Lord. He's going to throw for over 500. I'm starting to think we would torch Georgia's D. Oh, you would. Yeah. The way you guys play, yes, quite possibly. It would have been decent. Georgia throwing the game, I'm telling you, it's not happening. Yeah, I'm feeling the same way, says Uncle Rico. LSU, since I was born, says Normal Guy. Since he touchdown again, that game's over. Sounds like it. I got Bama covering this one, so I'm doing pretty well. San Diego State's the only team letting me down. I think that's the only game I'm losing today. There were only 9 games to pick from today for college football. Since he scored on a 42 run to the house, they have scored 21 points in 7 minutes to start the half. Cincinnati said, nope, we're getting in. We mess around with this. It's over, said UGA fan. Looking bad, but still early. Still time. 2nd and 3 up and coming for Georgia. 12 and a half minutes remaining here in the third quarter. They're at the 28-yard line. And they are stuffed in the backfield is James Cook. Pac-12 should be renamed Pac-2 because only 2 are good each year. Good. That's a good one, Jam Slam. I would never say never, Ray. I remember in 2014 season, OSU had third-string quarterback and had to beat Bama, and then Mariota led Oregon. Yeah, I knew once you guys got Bama that you were good to go, but Georgia and then Bama, I think that's a little bit harder of a task. Bama was a great win for you guys, but the Oregon was kind of like, I knew you guys were going to beat them. But yeah, that's a good point. Good point. With a third string quarterback too. Yeah, I remember that year too. And I was like, man, we can't even get our first string quarterbacks to play like this. And they got their third string quarterbacks winning championships. 3rd and 8. Bennett does have a lot of time to throw. Got to make a play here. And he does. He gets it to Burton, who will get it out to the 42-yard line. Georgia isn't throwing. They just haven't played any talent all year. Yep. It's quite possible. I mean, this does make me feel better that we could beat Georgia. We could, but it doesn't make me feel better about Alabama. And I don't think we could beat both teams in one run. All right, I'm going to head off and be back for a brief moment for the end of the third. See you later. Have fun, y'all. Have a good one, Blizzy. Take care, my friend. Is not calling you guys Ohio, but yet you guys call us Michigan. After the college football season is over, are you going to start covering the Lions even if they do go 16-1? Probably not, my friend. I'm going to make some different kind of material, like a sports material, but they'll go deep. Long throw. Might be a pass interference. Let's see if they call it. Yes, it's going to be called. I'm going to make some like story kind of videos and funny videos and stuff. I got some ideas, but no, I won't be covering the Lions. Not this time around. Maybe next year. Bryce Young won the Heisman for sure. Yep. Wrapped it up today. I think even if his team doesn't end up winning this game, he's 350 yards. He's probably going to throw for over 500 today. Cincy pouring on, going to have to pull for Cincy in college football playoff. Got to stand with an Ohio team. I can't blame you there. If I wasn't a Michigan fan, I would pull for Cincinnati in the playoffs as well. This is the same Bama team that couldn't score on Auburn. Georgia's unflinching D is an overrated joke. Quite possibly, but, again, it's all about matchups, guys. Matchups. And apparently Alabama matches up well offensively against Georgia. 1st and 10 for Georgia here at the 43-yard line of Alabama. SEC is overrated this year. Michigan will best both of these teams if they need to. That'd be great. We would have earned the championship if that's the case. Stetson Bennett, 1st and 10, finds his man Cook. And that'll go out to the 38-yard line, gain of about 5. Last night I bet on a team I never heard of before, UT San Antonio, and they won after nearly blowing a 30-point lead. I was having a flashback to Falcons blowing a 28-3 lead. My friend left the bar for that and missed it. On his drive, he left, he missed most of the comeback. And he hates Tom Brady, so I wish he would have been there to witness it live. I felt pretty confident Brady was going to bring him back. I didn't think he would win that, but I felt like he was going to bring him back in that game, so I was not shocked. Fumbled snap. Alabama jumps on it. Alabama ball. But Bennett's clapping. He thinks there's a flag on Alabama there. Let's see. False start offense. That's good for Georgia. That's a good for Georgia. Right time to get a false start there. As that snap was really unexpected by Stetson Bennett. 2018 was my favorite college basketball season because the March Madness was crazy and Michigan had a great season making the national championship, and it was fun watching Loyola Chicago. It was great. One of my favorites has always been 2013 with the Trey Burke run. I really wish we could have finished that off in a win. And, Trey Burke, they called the foul on him late in the game. It's bullcrap. I still disagree with that. Momentum Turner, that one. Just got Chinese food? Good stuff, my friend. I'm ready to get some food after this game. Bennett on 2nd and 10 finds his receiver, 1st down. That was Brock Bowers on the catch, leading receiver / tight end for Georgia. 1st down Bulldogs. Ray, long ago in a galaxy far, far away. True story. My first college football game live was Army Navy in Annapolis. Nice. I got to take my dad to that one. He's a 20-year Navy vet. I got to take my dad to that one day. That's an awesome one to go to. I love that one. Most people do. Bennett in the corner of the end zone. Too high, too far, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Buckeye backups are pretty good. Cardell Jones won a chip. Joe Burrow won a chip. And look at Jameson. Maybe Ewers too. Yep, they're solid for sure. Well, Houston is losing and Baylor won. Well, what about y'all's other guy, Jack Miller? What do you think he's going to do? Houston is losing and Baylor won. Yep. Indeed, Christina. Good to have you back, my friend. LMAO, Georgia is pulling Ohio State. Sure looks like it. When are you starting a merch store? I'm going to be doing one soon. I'm trying to get affiliated with Amazon to start making merch. But I'm waiting on their answer. They're going to do a screen to Cook, I believe it is, and he loses a lot of yards on 2nd and 10. No, that wasn't Cook. That was McKonkey. The best teams I have seen play this year are Bama, Georgia, Michigan, and Ohio State. That was actually my order. Not saying Ohio State would be in over Cincy or Notre Dame, but they would be favored by 10 over Notre Dame or Cincy. I agree with you 100%, Showtime. 100%. That snap will be a meme. That was pretty crazy. And then he looked back thinking it was behind him. Nope, says Christina. I was in a different stream for a minute. I guess Bama is cousin clappers. I've never heard that one before. Yeah, that's what I've heard that one plenty of times about Alabama. 3rd and 15. Bennett is able to escape the pocket, and could he run for the first? Oh, you gotta lean the ball out there. That's a pretty favorable spot from the ref, it looks like. It's gonna be a 1st down for Georgia. Nice run by Bennett. Before the season, I ordered tickets to the Cardinals game on the 19th, thinking the Lions had a chance. No, geez. Now, the Lions don't stand a chance now that Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins are back. Yeah, Cardinals I think they're the Super Bowl favorite right now, which I disagree with. I don't think they can get it done. But, a lot of times, I think it's Aaron Rodgers' year. I think Green Bay is going to find a way. Utah State just fumbled into the end zone and recovered by Utah State in the end zone. That's the type of day that's going for San Diego State. Yeah. It's a bummer too, man. I need to San Diego State to cover. I want to go undefeated in my 9 games. I'm doing well. I'm doing really well, I think. I don't have I know I won the 2 games earlier. Alabama's went covering and Cincinnati's covering. So that's 4-0, and then I think then I'll be 4-1 after 5. But I feel like there's one more game going on that I'm forgetting about. I feel like there's one more game going on right now. Oh, I just said 4-1. So yeah, there's supposed to be 4 games going on right now, and I'm missing one. I'm missing one. I don't know which one it is. The angel of the big house, Detroit news reporter, is a Cincy alum, and the Buckeyes constantly troll her on Twitter. I like that. Angel of the big house. Bryce Young is a difference maker in this game. Elite quarterback versus Bennett. Yep, I agree. Moment looks a little too big for Bennett at times, for sure. And Bryce Young, I mean, dude, I've said that about freshmen. Freshmen just do not care anymore. They have ice in their veins, man. With the way college football is played and stuff, and the receivers. They're going to call it 4th down. It's going to be 4th. Georgia has to go for it. You're down 14. You got to go for it. Alabama's offense is playing ridiculous. You got to go for it. Houston fumbled the snap on 3rd down. And now is forced to punt since he has the ball back at their own 34-yard line. Again, man, oh, man. Georgia played nobody all year. Thanks again, Holy Snikes. Georgia played nobody all year. I agree. They can't help that, but I agree. Annapolis in 1891. Woo. Have fun. Anyways, Lori, Lions play everyone tough. Yeah, and, it's a beautiful stadium. It'll be fun. This will be fun. Ray, you should make another Ohio State diss track like Ducked Up 2 months ago, and it was fire. I love that diss track, but I didn't get a lot of views on it. I hate that stuff. I hate when I don't get views on that kind of hard effort. They'll quarterback sneak, and it'll be a 1st down for Georgia. Told y'all that quarterback sneak is fire, man. Thanks, Lori. I appreciate that. My man Mike. Bama beat Georgia twice because they had a 5-star on the bench with an entirely different style that they brought in. What is Smart waiting on? Ooh. Good point. Good point. JT Daniels, you make a good point. Bennett pretty decent on this drive, though. He's been decent on this drive. 3 rushes, 6 passes, 55 yards. And Georgia must have a touchdown here. Must have it. All right. Bennett's going to hand it off to Zamir White. Nothing doing. 1-yard gain. Yeah, good point, Mike. Good point. Let's see. That's what makes Saban so great is the one time he didn't have a choice. Tua got hurt, but the other time, or did Tua get hurt? He did, didn't he? But the first time it was his choice to bring in Tua. So, but yeah, he's willing to take that risk in the championship game of all times. Like that's always going to be a staple for a long time, man. 2nd and 9 here. Stetson Bennett's going to fake and go right, throw, and it's picked off. Now you might have a good point. Picked off, Alabama ball. I hope Georgia plays like this against Michigan. Really wanted to play Cincinnati. USC and Cal are playing a makeup game. Yep, I do remember that. Yeah, that's the one. So I picked Cal. What's that score? Let me know. I picked Cal to cover. Hopping in the shower before the game, be back before the game. Sounds good, Benny. We'll see you in a little bit, my friend. I'm hoping this game goes by a little bit faster. I still have to set up the Michigan stream and get there and eat and everything, so I need this to rush up a little bit. Huge first for Georgia. It was Jam Slam, but man, what a bad pass. If Bama and Michigan both win, will Michigan be number 1? I don't think so, Hunter. I think Bama's going to be 1, and I think Michigan's going to stay at 2, and Georgia's going to go to 3. And we're going to be in trouble because we'll have to play Georgia first now. And God, Michigan. We get breaks. We got breaks this year, so I can't complain too much. But that sucks, man. That sucks. And I knew it could happen. I tried to say it. Not that it would matter, but why is Cincy Houston Conference Championship game being played in Cincy? No neutral field? Ooh, good question. I think that's the way the AAC does it, if I'm not mistaken. But I agree with you. It should be neutral. Cincy went for it on 4th and 1 at Houston 45 and didn't get it, so Houston takes over. That their own 45 down 35-13. Come on, Cincy, keep covering, man. Keep covering. Even though it might be like the Eagles game, it at least it will be fun. Wow, that Eagles game got out of hand. Yep, interception and D Jam Slam. Wow, says Uncle Rico. Georgia sucks, says Jam Slam. The faces of Sun Georgia fans, just like the Auburn game, LMAO. It's going to take an epic comeback, but, Bama's had a couple comebacks in this game. Let's see if Georgia can do it to them. Rankings really don't matter right now, just be in the top 4. I disagree, Al. For Michigan to have to beat Georgia and then Alabama, that's not easy. I'd much rather our path have been Oklahoma State. I really wanted Oklahoma State or Cincinnati. And the Oklahoma State I saw today, I'd rather have them. Everything's really going against Michigan right now today, for sure. But just to make it to the playoffs would be good too for us. That's a step up for sure. And we got a shot against Georgia. Don't get me wrong. Georgia does not look as good as I envisioned. I've seen them play plenty this year, but I was kind of keeping an open mind because I was one of the people that said, I said I think we would lose to them and everything. I was pretty pessimistic about it, but I did mention that Georgia has not played much of anybody, and we're going to really find out who they are. I said they didn't play Bryce Young. They have not played a Bryce Young, and Bryce Young, now that he's getting protection in the pocket, Georgia looks a little susceptible, a lot susceptible. We'll see if their defense can play better in the second half here. It's going to go to Jameson Williams out in the flats, and that play keeps going well for Alabama. 8-yard gain there, 2nd and 2, up and coming. Georgia's pathetic. They shouldn't be in if they get blown out. Sick of the SEC bias. I think they should be in, but I think the committee should seriously consider dropping Georgia to 4 if they get blown out in this game. They're not going to do it though, and that's what's unfortunate. That's where the SEC bias. Oh, he did stop. Bauer stopped. It wasn't a terrible pass by Bennett. It wasn't a good one either though. But yeah, your receiver can't break off the route like that. Good pressure on Bryce Young. Bryce Young steps up in the pocket and throws it out of bounds. There's a flag, pass interference on Georgia. Don't count out Cincy. They are better than a lot of people think. No, I'm not counting them out. I just think that Michigan matches up well against them with our size. A team from Georgia choking? Gas. That never happens, he says sarcastically. Yeah, lucky for Georgia fans, most of them are Braves fans, and they finally got it done this year. Yeah, Georgia was talked up all season, says Benny. Yep, they have been. Even by me, too, to some extent. Josh Payton has been saying all year Georgia can't win a natty with Benny. I think I agree. Yeah, from what I've seen today, I'm mad at myself because I picked Georgia to win this game. And you guys that have been following me all year, you know that I've picked Alabama all season long to win this game. I said I don't know what it is. I just have a hunch that Alabama's going to really bring their A game that day. And so I'm pissed off at myself, but not that mad. I mean, whatever. I'm just wrong about a pick. But I'm mad that I picked Georgia to win this game. Because I've known all year, I've said Alabama all year until the last week of the season. I said Georgia was getting way too hyped and that Alabama they're just different. They're built different in these games. Exactly. Number one defense allows 31 points. If Georgia loses my 3 or more touchdowns, they should be out. I don't think they'll be out, and I don't think they should be out. I think you can't just forget. I mean, look who they're playing, Alabama's really brought it today. Georgia's done a lot of things wrong, but Bama's playing great. USC and Cal don't play until 10 o'clock Central Time. Cal by 4.5. Okay, got you. I'm pretty sure there's one more game going on right now that is on my betting pool. San Diego State, Alabama, Cincinnati, and who else? Is everybody forgetting about when Georgia played Arkansas and Kentucky? They aren't horrible garbage teams. Yeah. But Arkansas, I would say, is overrated, and Kentucky's been proven to be overrated. I get what you're saying, though, Lori. They do got to get – I mean, they played good teams. It's just when you compare their schedule to, like, Michigan's or somebody else's, Ohio State's, any one of those teams, like, it's been much, much easier than theirs, in my opinion, especially against passing teams. That's almost picked, but that was 3rd and 10 anyway, so it won't matter. 4th and 10, they'll have to punt the ball. Houston went the wrong way again and has to punt since he has the ball back at their 25-yard line. Good call. I like Holy Snikes giving me these updates. Appreciate you, my friend. If Michigan gets in, they will beat Bama and Georgia. But that tasted bad coming out. Go Bucks. I just don't know if we can get that done. The Bama looks really good today. Think about it, Saban on a year, on a month to prepare for Michigan. Ugh, not looking forward to that if we even get there. My grandma and my dead ant can beat USC in football tonight. The Trojan kids have quit in 2021. I hope you're right because I took California to cover. Michigan will lose to Iowa tonight, and Ohio State will make the playoffs. Ugh, shush your mouth. You guys aren't going to go ahead of Michigan. We beat y'all. They're not going to put you ahead of us. Really holy, says Christina. If Georgia goes to 4, we have a better chance. Yeah, for sure. But I don't think they'll drop Georgia to 4. I don't think they would do that. I don't know. I just don't think – I think they would drop Georgia to 3. I don't think they would drop them as far as Cincinnati. But who knows? I'd be rooting for it. Saban has a Kirby Smart voodoo doll under his clipboard. Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? My playoff predictions: 1, Bama, Michigan 2, Georgia 3, 4, Cincy. Still picking Georgia. In that scenario, I would pick a Georgia-Alabama rematch, and I think Alabama would get them a second time. I think they're too fast for Georgia, what I'm seeing today. But I agree with your 1 through 4 at this point. I'd be close to dropping Georgia to 4 if I was in the committee, but they're not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. I know they're not going to, and it's bull. Just lost TV signal. Can't believe it. Oh, no. Bump, 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 bum. I appreciate you with the $5 super chat after that. I appreciate you, Taylor. Thank you, my friend. I'll try to keep you updated the best I can. We got 69 in the house. Nice. Thanks for being here. And score, obviously, is 31-17 Alabama. Georgia's going to have the rock here after the ended up throwing the interception by Stetson Bennett. So we'll see what they can do this time around. Thanks, Taylor. I appreciate you, my man. Thank you, friend. No neutral field. Team with the better record gets rewarded with a home game. Yep, that's what I figured about the AAC. Even if that team up north loses to Iowa, Ohio State doesn't get in over that team up north unless it is blood, and that team up north quarterback and running back get hurt. Good point, Showtime. You are a smart man. I can't get some of these people to understand that. There's just no way. I mean, maybe if we get waxed by Iowa, like waxed, but it's not going to happen. And there's no way that they would jump Ohio State over us when both teams would have 2 losses. I still believe Michigan could get in still if we lose a close game based on what's happening today. I don't think we would, but I don't know. It'd be interesting because, I feel like the committee in that scenario should punish Notre Dame in that scenario for not playing in the championship game. And we got a better win than I think they would actually really consider putting Michigan at 4 with 2 losses. But I don't know. I can tell you this. If Alabama loses this game, things could get really interesting. If Georgia comes back and wins by 3, with the way Alabama's played, they're going to have a tough time keeping Alabama out of the playoffs. So you got Notre Dame with 1 loss and Alabama. Yeah, that's going to be tough. But I don't think they're going to have that predicament. Louisiana. Oh, yeah, that's the other one. Yes, that's the other one, Mike. And I think Louisiana's covering right now. It was 17-10 last I checked. Nice. I got Louisiana covering that one, so I need that to hold firm. Man, that would put me at 5-1 out of 9 games. That's good. I need it. I'm like 3 games back on placing or whatever, and I've already won, so I've already broke even for the year. But I could win this week and place. That'd be excellent. Pitt versus Wake Forest. That's later, right? That's at 8:00. I got that one. I got Pitt covering. Dinner canceled at the Smart household. I like that, Jeff. 2nd and 6 up and coming for Georgia. They'll send 2 men in motion to the left side of Stetson Bennett, and he'll run the ball up the middle. Georgia's sticking true to that run. And they'll gain 3 yards on that play. Brandon Lang on Georgia for 100 dimes explains why they're getting spanked so badly. Makes sense, doesn't it? I agree. You were bringing the knowledge, says Showtime to Lori. Yep, I agree too, Showtime. I agree too. Is it the Sun Belt Conference Championship game that you were thinking about? Yes, Dave. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. That's been bothering me for a while now. Imagine Georgia wins. I think you're trying to say, Isaiah. Imagine. Sam Hartman. Gergazos, says Jeff. All right, here we go. 3rd and 4. Huge start down here. Pressure on Bennett, but he completes the pass to Bowers. 1st down, Georgia at the 44-yard line. Picking Georgia because second chances are big for the team that lost the first time. Yeah, I think so, but we saw what happened to Oregon yesterday. And so I don't know. This Bama team looks really good today. Looks really good. Ray, don't be scared of facing 2 overrated SEC teams in Final Four playoffs. Think of the glory when Michigan pulls it off. You'll be sculpting a Jim Harbaugh statue in your front yard. Goodness, the apologies I would have to give Jim Harbaugh if we won the national championship game. I'd be okay with it, though. I would be okay with it. I'd rather eat crow in that scenario for sure. All right, here we go. It's 1st and 10. Bennett has some time. Now he's running out of it. He's going to have to run out of the pocket and can't get out of it. He loses a yard on the sack. Ray, the Wolverines can beat these two teams. Have some faith. I know we can. It's just beating them back to back, it'd be so difficult. Both teams aren't overrated, just overhyped. Agree with that. That's a good way to put it. I like that, Goated. If Georgia don't score soon, it's over. But Alabama looks like they're good, though. They look good today. They look on another level. Yeah, I agree, Jeff, to an extent. I think they could. I think they could score on this drive. UGA fans hyped their defense all season long, rightfully so, but now it's being exposed massively. Yep. It's been a problem with Georgia. It's been an issue for sure. Bennett's going to roll out of the pocket and pick up the first, I think. He stretched for it. Yep, first down. Bump, 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 bump. Mike again, I appreciate you, man. Why wouldn't Iowa get in over Michigan in that situation, but would have 2 losses, but Iowa would have head-to-head? Because at some point, Iowa would beat Michigan. That's a good point. You make a great point, but they're so far back and they have worse losses and they've looked worse. Trust me, I know they would consider it. I wouldn't be totally shocked in that scenario. But, you know, assuming we lost by like 3 points, as Georgia with a nice hole up the middle there gets out to the 34-yard line. Assuming we only lost by 3 points or whatever, I don't know if that would warrant jumping Iowa from 10. Where are they right now? Are they 10 or where are they at right now? That's, I think, 13, right? I don't think they would jump that high, and Michigan would jump that low. Because, you know, they're going to look at overall resume. The head-to-head's there, sure, but, you know, Iowa doesn't have a win. You know, that would only give them they don't have some of the wins we have. Some of the losses are worse than our losses. I think that'd be the reason why. I don't think they could jump, but you make a good point. You could definitely make an argument for that. This is probably my favorite college football season since '97. Go blue and beat Iowa. I like that. Same here. Really, 2006 was a good one. I didn't like the way it ended, though. How many 2-loss teams have ever been in the college football playoff? None. This would be the year to do it, though. This would be the year it's possible. 2nd and 3, Georgia will pick up the first down on the run. And here we go, Georgia in business here. Houston total yards in the third quarter was -6. Yeah, Cincy came to show up in the third quarter. Came to play in the third quarter, didn't they? Cincy moved the ball to the 50, but the drive stalled and punted to Houston. Houston takes over at their own 10-yard line. And Cincy keeps driving and getting stalled right there at midfield, right? These last couple drives. Come on. Am I being picky or what? I just know that one more touchdown would probably seal it for the spread. Could there be a 4-way tie for first place? No, there can't be, but that maybe should be in this scenario. 1st and 10 here, Georgia. It's going to hand it off to Zamir White. 1-yard gain, maybe. Answer, 0 2-loss teams. Correct. I've always liked Harbaugh. Yep, mostly me too, my friend. Me is too. Oops, I accidentally didn't go back on my thing, so let me go back on the chats. I've always liked Harbaugh, you said, Benny. Yeah, you've always been a supporter. I've always rooted for him, but you know, obviously I have my issues. You can't blame me. I thought the same thing was going to happen that always happens. I thought it was going to be like clockwork or whatever, and he proved me wrong. Oh, man, I got a DTE working on the power at the house, and I have no power and no telling when it's coming back on. Man, oh, man. Oh, you must be in the same – are you in the same area of Taylor as Taylor is? Are you in Iowa, my friend? Ball thrown out of bounds by Bennett there. It'll be 3rd and 9. Big 3rd and 9 here for Georgia. Lifelong Buckeye fan and proud alum, but I love your channel and coverage. Thank you, Andrew. That means a lot to me, my friend. Don't know if I can bring myself to say it, so I guess go Hawkeyes. Fair enough. I think that's fair. Way to send in a compliment there first and then say that. That's fair. If things stay the way they are and that team up north wins, then it will be Bama 1, that team up north 2, Georgia 3, and my new favorite team for the remaining of the year, Cincy number 4. I think that's fair, Holy Shnikes. I think that's the way it will be as well. You guys just don't get a Big Ten and Michigan lose. Iowa goes to the Rose Bowl and Michigan's out of the playoffs. So yes, Buckeyes will go to the playoffs in Michigan. You will not go over Michigan, I promise you, unless we get spanked. 3rd and 9. Bennett to the end zone. Huge here if he catches it. Bowers can't hold on to it. Man, that's where you got to make a play. Got to make a play there. Will Georgia go for it on 4th and 9? I mean, Alabama's offense is pretty good today. I don't know how many times you're going to get a stop here. Man, that close. Had it. And good contact there. But, man, big players make big plays in those kind of games. That's where you got to come down with it. Bet you an Ohio State receiver would have caught that. There's always next week, Army versus Navy, Army in a blowout. Yeah, next week's interesting. Army versus Navy, I like that. Everybody loves that rivalry. Final play of the 3rd quarter. Will it be a good one for Georgia? Bennett pressured, lobs, incomplete. Georgia stalls again. If Bama, Cincy, and Iowa win, I think Notre Dame gets in. If Georgia, Cincy, and Iowa win, I think they put in 2 loss Bama. Man, this is definitely one of the most interesting down to the wire scenarios here today. I agree. Thanks again, Mike. I really appreciate you, my friend. Thank you, buddy. The committee is like a crime syndicate if they must put 2 SEC teams in, make them play the first round. In the first round, I'm tired of the seed manipulation to avoid immediate rematches. Yeah, I agree with that, man. I think they should just put 1 through 4 how they see it, how it actually is. I agree with that. I really, honestly, if I was part of the committee, based on what I've seen out of Georgia today, I don't see a lot of impressive wins on their resume. Cincinnati has a win over Notre Dame. So I feel like my ranking would be, I just know they're not going to do it, but my ranking would be Alabama, Michigan. I would do Cincinnati. I just think it's going to be Georgia there. I would do Cincinnati at the 3 slot. Because off the top of my head, Lori mentioned Arkansas and Kentucky. What are Kentucky's other? Is Kentucky even ranked? I know Arkansas is like late, right? Like number 23 or so. How many ranked wins does Georgia have? I think that means something, Who cares how dominant you've looked if you don't have any real wins that are, Clemson probably snuck back into the top 25, so that's a good one because their defense is good. Clemson hasn't looked great this year, but their defense is good. Harbaugh is a Michigan man. Yeah, he is. That's true. Houston wide receiver got drilled and fumbled the ball since he swooped and scored go up 42-13. Pending review. I've always liked Harbaugh too, up until a week ago. Hear this. That's fair. Hear this. There's always MLB lockout. It comes down really money. Yep, that is happening right now. First time in a long time too. Harbaugh took teams to the Super Bowl. He's capable. Yep, for sure. I agree, Benny. I should have more faith. I agree with you. Mike says 15th. Wait, 15th. What was that about? 15th. Oh, that's what Iowa's ranked as 15th. Ooh, they definitely wouldn't be able to make that big of a jump. I think we can beat Alabama and Georgia. It'll be a really tough 4 games playing OSU, Iowa, Georgia, and Alabama, all top 15 teams. Iowa is 13. Oh, 13 they are. Okay, got you. Yeah, that'd be a tough road. You would have earned it. I mean, that's how champions are made, though. You got to win those. No, I will make the Rose Bowl ladies and gentlemen. Iowa have lost a couple games. They will not get ahead of the Buckeyes. But Buckeyes won't get ahead of Michigan. You're wrong. I'm telling you. I'm not going to say it again. Harbaugh is on the way to the bank right now. Georgia should not make it if Bama hangs 40. They should still make it, in my opinion. Because who are you going to put over them? A Notre Dame team that lost to Cincy and didn't look good doing it? Call has been determined it was incomplete. Dang it. I really wish Cincy could have just finished it off. So Houston keeps the ball and gets an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty and get an automatic first down to keep the drive alive. Dang it. That's not good. Drop touchdown. Yep. Joe, I'm saying that was a bad one. Majorison. I'll say it because you gave me $10. Michigan sucks. I appreciate you entertaining us all, though. You got it, my friend. You got it. Hey, you give me $10. You can say whatever you want. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. Thanks, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. Almost a catch, says Goated. Yep, almost. You got to make that catch, in my opinion. Obviously, it would have been a really difficult catch, but hey, that's how you win. That's how you win an SEC championship, is making that grab. Is Georgia in the playoffs? I mean, yeah, they're going to make it. I'm in Michigan. Go Blue, Ann Arbor. Go Blue, my friend. Go Blue. I'll try to keep you updated on this game. Georgia is set, says Benny. I think so too. That's game, says Hector. Got to believe it, man, especially if Alabama can get another touchdown in. Turnover on downs, Georgia sucks for the second time, Jam Slam says today. They are stupid for going for it. Why? Yeah, I think I would have probably kicked the field goal there, but I see why they did because Alabama's offense is rolling. But they've only scored 7 this half, so Bryce Young incomplete there. Georgia's defense playing a little bit better here. But if they lose by slot, I don't know. Navy is horrible. Army wins 34-13. Got to believe that's going to be the case. I think Army wins pretty big. I don't know what the spread's going to be, so I'll wait for that. Cincy's going to win. Yep, they are, but I need them to cover the spread. COVID could still play a role in these zany games. That is true. It's not over yet. The Boz is so much better in Dr. Pepper commercials than NFL. I agree. Kentucky is not ranked. I didn't think so. Thanks, Mike. 2nd and 10. Good complete throw there for Alabama out to the 35-yard line. Wisconsin was 12-0 in 17, but lost the Big Ten championship game and got left out. So if Georgia doesn't drop to 4, that's BS. Yeah, I agree, but you got to remember, Georgia's looked a lot better than I'm assuming that Wisconsin 2017 team, So we'll see. I don't think they're going to do Bama and Georgia again, and I think they're going to respect the SEC way too much and respect Bama way too much, and yeah, I don't know. There's no way Cincy is rated ahead of Georgia. Before tonight, Georgia has flat out dominated everyone. I agree, Showtime. But I'm saying I would put Cincy over because they dominated everyone, yes, but I just, what win do they have that if you're really talking about resume, who Cincinnati's dominated a lot of teams too. I understand that team up north won to face Cincy instead of Georgia. Would you feel the same way if that team up north was won? Yes, I would. I really would. I really would feel that way. I was thinking that when I was saying that. I was like, I'm trying not to do this from a Michigan perspective here. I'm doing it from an absolute perspective. I get that Georgia's looked great all season, but well, I don't know. I'd have to relook at the schedules. I really have to relook at the schedules. But if you're telling me your best win all season is what? Like a number 21 Clemson ranked team? North Carolina State beat them. And you got to have big wins. That's what the committee mostly values is big wins and good losses. And Georgia would not have any big wins, like real big wins. Cincy at least has that, and they dominated Notre Dame in that game. Incomplete pass on 3rd and 3. Hopefully it won't come to that. I hope Georgia just wins this game, and they really put the pressure on Alabama. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. I can see it going either way. I don't think it's an automatic, is what I'm saying. But I think they'll do Bama 1, Michigan 2, Georgia 3, Cincy 4. I'm not going to eat edibles tonight. But might not make it till halftime. Good idea, Benny. Good idea. If Georgia doesn't win a natty this year, it's going to be soul crushing for that program. It was their year all year, and everyone was telling them that, and they were telling everyone as well. Yep, agreed, Uncle Rico. I agree. Hopefully Michigan, if they play them, can just eliminate them. Be done with it. 4th and 3 here. And they'll punt, and it's caught at the 21-yard lines where Georgia will start the next possession, and now they have no time anymore. They got to get touchdowns now. Georgia, wow, says SG. LMAO says Benny. Watch be Georgia versus Alabama for the national championship game. High likelihood that could be the case. We made it, Ray. Walking to find our seats. Hawkeye fans are way outnumbered. Nice. That's good to hear, Travis. I hope you have a blast, brother. I hope it's a great time, man. Go blue. Go blue. I better hear you. We got to get this done. If you guys lose, yes, Buckeyes will jump ahead. Watch and see. I'm not going to read that anymore because you're wrong. You're wrong. I'm not even going to. We have to lose big. So I'm not going to listen to that foolery anymore. Georgia needs that defense. We know. Agreed, Lori. Yeah, say what you want. Just pay up first, says Benny. Blizzy says, I am back. Georgia looking to throw away like usual. Good to have you back, Blizzy. Is Zamir, does Bama unis look like they are messed up and washed and faded? I didn't notice, but I'll have to check it out. Let me really quick, because I'm pretty close to being caught up with the chats. I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the bathroom for the first time today, okay, guys? So that's good. With 2 streams, I'm in a 4th quarter in the SEC championship game. I'm doing well. All right, I guess Georgia gained 8 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 2 up and coming. Let's get back to where we were. What sucks is DTE said that they are not going to restore power till after 9 o'clock, so please keep me updated. I'll be here, my friend, for this game and Michigan's game. 2nd and 2, there'll be a sweep out to Cook. He will get the first down on a 3-yard gain. First down, Georgia. Man, put JT Daniels back in. Yeah, they didn't do it, did they? Bennett's still out there, right? Since he hasn't looked dominant coming down the stretch, Houston getting ready to score again. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I guess, they've had some tough ones. These last couple weeks, though, they've looked good, haven't they? They beat East Carolina. Didn't they beat East Carolina pretty bad or no? And I know SMU, they took care of business. 1st and 10 for Georgia at the 31-yard line. Come on, Georgia. I need y'all to win. I'm starting to I need Georgia to win. Come back in this one. Bennett with the pass, it's picked off. Game over. It's going to go for 6. Now you got to put in Daniels. It's too late anyways. Daniels has to come in at this point. Bennett sucks. He sucks today. If Alabama scores again, they should switch from that game to a replay of the Daniel High School State Championship game. Brian, I like that comment. No, most people aren't going to understand that. You guys know DeAndre Hopkins. He went to Daniel High. It's local here in South Carolina. Houston was able to score and close the gap to 35-20 with 6 minutes to go in the game. Side note, Cincy has sacked Houston 7 times tonight. Okay, listen. Cincinnati was favored by, 10.5? They need to finish this one, man. Come on. Finish it. Eating Chinese rice as normal guy. They barely won against Clemson. I'm not suppose they are struggling against Alabama. They haven't played anybody. Yep, I agree. I mean, I think there could be an argument for them to drop to 4, but I don't think they will. Since he beat Notre Dame, correct. That's a good win. Sometimes you got to stream during a stream. Good point. I like that joke, Uncle Rico. If Alabama can beat Georgia, Michigan can. Yeah, I guess so. I just, I don't know. It's just, it's not Georgia I'm worried about all of a sudden. It's like, I mean, we can beat them. I know we can, especially if we get this Georgia. But to beat Georgia and then Alabama, that's going to be tough. I hate that college football sometimes due to big schools like Alabama always dominates and takes all the 5-star recruits. I wish there was no draft but for college, a draft but for college. I don't know. I think it's fair. It's fair game. If you're doing well, you deserve the good athletes. Other teams got to stop that. You're doing great, bro. You still look kind of punky, but that's great for the Michigan game. Thanks, my friend. Appreciate you. I'm trying. Bump. My man Mike, man, coming through again. I appreciate you. Cincinnati is looking like they will have 2 top 25 wins. Oh, yeah, I forgot that Houston would give another one. Same as Georgia, since he wins number 6 and 21. Georgia, number 20 and 22. The question mark would be, where are they going to put Houston after this loss to Cincinnati? Are they going to screw Cincinnati over and drop Houston out of the top 25? And maybe rightfully so. Or are they going to keep them just on the fringe 24, 25 range? Then all of a sudden, to me, like I said, I agree with you, Mike. I think that, I don't know. I get where Showtime's saying, because, Georgia, it's not just the wins. I just think that number 6, that win over Notre Dame alone, because Notre Dame would be 5. They're going to go ahead of Oklahoma State. That win over Notre Dame alone possibly could be the difference maker if you really value big wins. Georgia doesn't have those. And now we see what they look like against a team that actually has a pulse. That's it. They play a team inside the top 20 and look what happens. It's a really good team outside the top 20, but still. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that, my friend. Bump, says Nathan. Spunky. Sorry, Ray. Got it. I'm trying to keep it, man. I'm trying. Assuming I still got to set up the stream. That's what stinks. So, this game going in overtime, which I don't think it is, would be a nightmare. Assuming Bama beats Georgia, which is looking good. Again, thanks for the $2, Mike. Appreciate you, my friend. Yeah, I agree. Which is looking good indeed. Man, oh man. I really hope that, I would be interested to see it would be interesting to me to see what they do if Michigan wins big tonight, How much credit are we really going to give Georgia at this point? Again, same thing I've been talking about. I think Alabama would jump Michigan, but I don't know if that's necessarily fair if we blow out Iowa. If we beat Iowa by like 21 to 30 points or something and look good doing it, and we just beat Ohio State by 15, Like, what? How much credit are you giving the Alabama win over Georgia as opposed to the rest of their season? You know, I don't know. Right now, we're over Alabama. We're ranked over Alabama. So, you know, I don't know how much. I'm sure they're going to jump Alabama over Michigan, but how fair is that if we win big as well? Bum, 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 bum. Game over, says Hector. Just put in Daniels. Hector, I agree. You got to put in Daniels at this point. He's still not in the game, though. They're keeping Stetson Bennett. Georgia has no business in the playoff. I think they should get there, but A. Arnold says ball game. Search YouTube. There will be a stream of the Michigan game somewhere you can watch. True points, Uncle Rico. 1st and 10 here at the 25-yard line. Stetson Bennett, not JT Daniels. Back to pass. Gives it to Cook. And Cook will get 9 yards. They're going to have to move no huddle here at this point. I'm in Texas, so your broadcast is ahead of mine, so I'm basically spoiling it for myself. All you have to do, my friend, is pause your YouTube. Pause it for just a little bit to catch up, to be even. Just pause the stream till they have synced up. Correct. They'll run the ball for the first down out to the 39-yard line. 39-yard line. I have to think Georgia is in, but they are getting waxed. Does Notre Dame have a shot to get in? If Bama scores a few more times, Showtime's starting to change his mind a little bit here. Now, Georgia's going to get in the playoffs, but the way they're looking, if they don't change something up here, like I think they should consider dropping Georgia to 4. And again, that Michigan might, if they wax out Iowa, they might go to 1. So, like, I don't know what's going to happen, you know, but I got a feeling what's going to happen is that could be a hold. Doesn't look like they call it. Bennett can't find anybody, overthrown. 2nd and 10 up and coming. So it'll be Alabama, Georgia, Cincinnati, and hopefully Michigan. Yep, I agree, Kingpin. Finally from the Breslin Center, Toledo. Final from the Breslin Center. Oh, Toledo played fine in the second half, huh? 81-68. Blizzy Wizzy says, almost impossible, brother, to Uncle Rico. Cincinnati should be number 2. Michigan number 1. Bama number 3. Well, I disagree with that. I think Bama proved today that they're better than Cincinnati. A good margin better. Does Georgia still make the college football playoff? Yes, I think they do. Georgia will be 12-1. They aren't going anywhere. They will stay 3. I think so. I think they'll go to 3, but I just don't know how fair that is at this point. Bowers, if they can score a couple touchdowns before the end of the game and not give up any, then there's the Bowers. That's the same catch Bowers needed to have in the end zone earlier. Not as big of a hit, though. Not as big of a hit, but same kind of play. Let's hope the Wolverines play like they did against Ohio State. If they do that, I don't think any team is going to beat them. Not Georgia, not Alabama, and not Cincy. I hope you're right, my friend. I think Alabama would still with the way I'm looking today, but we can beat Georgia. This Georgia team is very beatable now that I'm seeing what I'm seeing today. But the way Georgia is playing, I don't know if they should go to the playoff. I think they should. What's the alternative? Notre Dame? No, thank you. Georgia just got exposed. I think so, to an extent. I do it all the time, says Uncle Rico. Georgia has fork installed. Laugh out loud. Big Ten versus SEC in college football playoff history lesson is warranted here. True. But Ohio State got Alabama taken care of that one year. The fact that the committee put Michigan over Bama this last week, if we take care of business and beat Iowa handedly, number 1 Michigan, Bama 2, Cincy. I hope you're right, Dustin. I just don't see it happening. We would really have to crush Iowa, really have to crush them. And then, then my question would be, how much better is Georgia than Ohio State? Because what I'm seeing today is not that much better, if at all. Because that Ohio State team would go over the top on Georgia a lot from what I've seen today. I don't know, man. How much credit do you give Alabama? Or credit do you give Georgia? First down. But I agree with Showtime. To an extent, at some point, I'm probably just trying to talk it in my head as a Michigan fan. To an extent. I don't know. I'm just like watching this Georgia game, and I'm just not very impressed with them today. Bennett, I'm not very impressed with Bennett. The front line is not, I got to give credit to Alabama, but the defensive line has not got any kind of real pressure on Bryce Young. It's really been easy for him. And this is without Metchie in the second half. Don't forget that. Metchie's out. So they're still doing this without one of their best receivers. A guy who has 90 receptions on the season. Complete pass to Bowers on the screen. He'll go through for the touchdown. Nice run by Bowers. Touchdown, Georgia. I think if Michigan wins big tonight, I think it should go Michigan, Alabama, Cincy, Georgia. I agree, especially if Georgia can tack on a couple of touchdowns here. Sent you a pic on Facebook, Ray Travis. I will definitely check it out after the stream, my friend. Can't wait to see it, man. Hope you have a blast, dude. I'm just disappointed. You should be, Prima Luna. Goodness, God. This had to have been y'all's year. Why aren't you getting it done? We need an 18 playoff. Utah might beat anyone. Maybe on their best days. I agree there should be more teams. Yeah, the way Cincy played tonight, they should be ranked above Georgia. I think Cincy's looked pretty good all season, and now I think you're just really overhyping a team or whatever. But, if Georgia can tack on a couple touchdowns here, who knows, man? I don't even know what I'm rooting for anymore. I don't even know what to root for anymore. I just know I didn't want to play. I just wanted Georgia to win this game, and I wanted Oklahoma State to win earlier, and nothing's going my way in that regard, so whatever. Ray, I'm going to head out by, and I'll be here for the Michigan stream. Lori, that sounds great. I hope you have a great one, my friend. I hope you have a great one. Thanks for being here. If they put 2 SEC teams in, that's it. They have to rank it, in my opinion. I think that'd be fair, but who knows? PSU, Whiskey, and OSU have all had statements in the big championship when they needed it. True story, Greg. As a Cincinnati fan, I hope Michigan can somehow get the 1 seed so we have a chance to. Didn't OSU beat 159-0 that one time. As a Cincinnati fan, I hope Michigan can somehow get the 1 seed so we have a chance to win a playoff game. Oh, yeah. You probably do have a better shot against Michigan than you do Georgia or Alabama. If Michigan and Cincy lose, should it be Baylor and Notre Dame in or OSU and Notre Dame? If Michigan Cincy's not going to lose. They're up by 15, right? So I think they're solid. It's like 4 minutes left in that game or so. It doesn't matter. And Michigan's not going to lose either, my friend. But in that scenario, I think that I think it would be interesting. But I think with Cincy winning, that makes Notre Dame's loss look a little bit better. I think Notre Dame would get in, and in that scenario. It's funny how ref didn't throw a flag on an obvious holding because he feels sorry for Georgia. Yeah, I thought that was holding for sure. Good point. Walking Stick says, nice catch. Oh, yeah, it was a nice one. I agree. Assuming Michigan wins, it seems Michigan will wind up playing Georgia either as a 1 versus 4 or 2 versus 3 because committee doesn't want Georgia versus Alabama in the first round again. I can imagine so. I agree, says Showtime. I agree, says Kingpin. And we're laughing. I kind of feel better, says Normal Guy. That's good. I like to hear that. Touchdown Georgia, says Jam Slam. Indeed. Wow, they still got a little fight in them, a little bit. You think about all the problems they've had in the red zone, turning the ball over and then turning the ball over on downs, man. What a game this would be if they maybe got field goals on those 2 possessions. It'd be an 8-point game at this point. He went full Hulk on that touchdown. Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I think against Alabama's defense, that was very impressive. Just like in Ohio State, that team up north game, sometimes matchups matter, motivation matter. That team up north lost to Lil Bro, and OSU waxed Michigan State. OSU matched up better versus Michigan State. Yep, matchups are very important. I agree with you. I agree. And Georgia doesn't match up well against Alabama in this scenario, so I get what your point is, Showtime. Yeah, that's my concern against Georgia is like what Alabama's doing to Georgia right now. Michigan does not play that way. We don't play with speed like that very low. We don't go deep often. But I don't know, man. I don't know how much faith if I'm a Georgia fan. I don't know at this point if you can never beat Alabama, and this is definitely your best option. I mean, Alabama just barely squeaked by Auburn last week. If you can't get by Alabama ever in this scenario, I don't know how much faith at this point I have in Kirby Smart to actually get it done. Well, we'll see. He's still going to have a shot in the playoffs. Sane says, Walking Stick, Bama matched up well with Georgia, and I thought OSU did too. Yep, I agree. Ohio State's style is much more helpful against Georgia than what Michigan's would be. We're going to run the ball here. Is Alabama. They'll gain 1 yard. Touchdown Georgia, says Dustin. I want to see a Michigan-Ohio State matchup in the national championship game in my lifetime. Guaranteed to be the most watched national championship game in history. Probably. And I think that will happen at one point for sure, especially as we expand the playoffs. If we expand the playoffs, for sure, I think it'll happen at some point. Ain't over yet, says Dustin. Nope, not over yet, but I don't know how many times I've ever seen Alabama blow a 21-point lead. Cincy went 3 and out, so they will punt it back to Houston with 5 minutes left. Houston will get the ball at their own 18. Keep me updated, but this is getting more and more depressing. Cincinnati, come on, what are y'all doing? Such a fiery third quarter, and now you're blowing in the fourth. They're not going to cover the spread. Cincinnati has no business in the college football playoff. I disagree. Kind of didn't want Cincinnati to win, but they'll get it in anyways. Rather see Dame than them, but a commentator on ESPN just said it's more than likely going to be Michigan versus Georgia and Bama versus Cincy. Yep, I agree. Across the board. And that also means Michigan and Georgia will be the night game, which also sucks for me because I wanted to stream during the day and do the reaction and then celebrate New Year's Eve. But oh well, I'll be here. 39. No pressure on Bryce Young. He gets it complete. And did he step out or not? He stepped out 1 yard short. Bama's going to have to punt. Nick Saban's going to think about it, I bet. Do you think that non-Power 5 teams should ever be in the college football playoff? Yes, I do. Playing football with friends hits different. Always fun. I agree, Blizzy. Only the independent teams. That's it, says Goated. I just disagree, guys. Come on, guys. You can't take away from what Cincinnati has done this season. Will they get waxed in the first round? Absolutely. By Alabama. They'll get waxed, but you can't keep them out. Who are you going to put over them? Ohio State lost twice, Notre Dame lost to that team. If Michigan and Cincy played each other, who do you think would win? Michigan. I think we would win pretty handedly. I feel confident about that. We match up well against Cincinnati. Without the pick six, it would be a one-possession game. Yeah, Bennett really blew it, man. He's blown it with some interceptions, costly interceptions. Hole says Tamika, who will be LSU starting quarterback? No clue, normal guy. No clue. Watching Cincy play today, they play very similar to Michigan. Cincy might be able to beat Michigan. I disagree. If they play similar to us, I mean, who does it better? I would imagine Michigan does it better, We're just, if we play the exact same way, similar to each other, and one team's more talented and probably bigger up front, I have to check into that. But I don't think I am going to check into that because I don't think we're going to be playing Cincinnati. Well, Michigan needs to take care of business here and there, and then Georgia. Let's go. Yep, looks like it. So if Michigan wins, what do you think the order will be? I think the order most likely is going to be, if we win by 30 or so, if we really can win big, I think that could raise some eyebrows and really make it interesting. But if we win by 14 or something like that, or 10 or whatever, I think it's going to be Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, Cincinnati. Unfortunately, that's the hardest path we could possibly see this season, and we're going to see it. Christina says, well, we'll see tomorrow. We will indeed. Bama was up 21-3 versus OSU in 2014. Not that it has anything to do with this game. Oh, wow. I didn't know that, actually. I didn't know they were up that big on y'all. I knew they were up, but I didn't know it was that big. One of our Georgia friends just posted on his Facebook that their best Georgia team in 40 years isn't good enough to beat Bama's worst team in 10 years. Seems pretty accurate. It's starting to seem that way, Brian, isn't it? I agree. Jamsland says fourth down. They stopped them, so see what happens here. Whatever happens in this game, Michigan will face Georgia. Either Michigan number 1 or yeah, I saw that earlier, versus Georgia number 4, or Michigan number 2 versus Georgia number 3, assuming Michigan wins. I don't think that's a foregone conclusion, but it's beginning to be more and more like that. Actually, Michigan should go to 1 if they win big and have Georgia, Alabama play again. Michigan versus Cincinnati. I think that's fair if we win big. If we win big, if you said Michigan beat number 2, right? Ohio State was last week. They beat number 2 Ohio State by 15 points, and then the next week beat Iowa by 28. I don't know. And your one loss is a 5-point loss in a game that you had a 16-point lead to a team that's going to be in the top 15 for Michigan State, I think, or right at there. Then how do you, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't see how in that scenario, but whatever. They won't do it. Pitt versus Wake, who you got? I think Pitt. I think defense will prevail. Their defense will be worse than usual today because Wake Forest's offense is good, but I think defense will prevail in the long run. Bowers is going to get the catch there. He's becoming a factor here in this one for sure. Gets it out to the 40-yard line. OSU may not deserve the playoffs, but I think they would make for a more fun playoff this year. Oh, for sure. I agree with you on that, Uncle Rico, for sure. Michigan, OSU, Georgia, and Alabama. How awesome would that be? That would be a hell of a playoff. In the group of 5 conference teams shouldn't play in the college football playoff, then there should be a separate playoff for them. I think they should go. Cincinnati deserves to go. Do you think Michigan can win it all? I think we can. I think anybody that gets to the college football playoffs can win it all. I just don't think we would. But I'd be fine. We were 2-4 last year, guys, so I don't know how picky I can actually be. At some point I have to be happy with. I'm just kind of disappointed because Georgia was a 6.5 point favorite in this game, So I thought they were going to get the win, but I knew it was going to be close. And it'll go out of bounds. It's going to be an incomplete forward pass there. 2nd and 10 up and coming. Don't want to get too confident, but I think Michigan could beat Georgia. I think we could, but hey, again, if we earned it, man, we could really have. If we had to beat Georgia and Alabama, and we already beat Ohio State, well, that would be a hell of a season. I'm way ahead of you right now. Laugh out loud. 4th down, Bama. 8:30 left. You're probably doing that same thing as always, Dustin. You need to fast forward and make sure you're live on my YouTube stream. You do that a lot, my friend. And nobody said that. Nobody else has said that. And I'm on cable television, so I don't think you can be way ahead of me unless you have an over the air antenna or whatever Phil calls it. Houston driving again. God, I hate late covers when it's against me. I hate them. Do you watch Premier League soccer? No, my friend. Incomplete pass by Stetson Bennett. I don't. Sorry about that. 3rd and 10 up and coming. I know a lot of people talking about Georgia and Alabama against Michigan. Let's just get past Iowa first. 1 game at a time. Go blue. Yeah, but I tell people I'm a fan, so I'm allowed to talk about whatever. It's the team that can't look ahead. They're the ones that got to show up. But I agree with you to an extent. We still got to beat Iowa. I agree. 4-point loss, Ray, says Preston. For who? 4-point loss for Michigan? No, you wouldn't say that. Here comes Georgia, says Jam Slam. Not 5. Oh, 4-point loss? I thought it was 38-33, wasn't it? Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, it's 37-33? Okay, 4-point loss then. Even better. Incomplete on 3rd and 10, and this is going to be it for Georgia here. Here comes Georgia, says Jam Slam. Yeah, maybe. They got to get the first now. Not 5. Michigan will be number 1. 1 loss to a higher-ranked team than Bama's loss to an 8-4 A&M team. We also have more better wins. Michigan wins the Natty. I like what you're saying. I like what you're saying a lot. I really honestly like a better loss and some really good wins. I don't know, man. I don't know. They're going to have a lot of questions for that. 4th and 10. This could be it for Georgia. There's still 7 minutes left, and they're going to have a false start. My cable's ahead of yours, Ray, by about 10 to 15 seconds, so I have to pause my cable briefly. I appreciate you doing that, Uncle Rico. Okay, thanks for letting me know. That makes sense. I mean, I guess that stinks though sometimes. Because I'm like, I can't do any better. I'm actually paying for cable. This isn't you. Sometimes I get on YouTube TV, but this time I'm not on YouTube TV. Back to all games matter. Earlier this season, since he was getting beat by Indiana. I forgot about that. And Indiana best linebacker got tossed for targeting. If Indy beats Cincy that day and OSU beat Oregon, then OSU would be in the playoff. All games matter. Yep, great point, Showtime. Great points. They're going to punt on 4th and 15. Maybe a good decision because if Alabama gets another field goal, it's for sure game over. So, yeah, I kind of like this, even though it's kind of sucks for Georgia. Fair catch called by Alabama. They'll get it at the 13-yard line. Houston went for it on 4th and 6 at Cincy 41. Didn't get it. Cincy got their 8th sack to put the game away with Houston only having 1 timeout left with 2:03. And so it's still, holy Snikes, are they still up by 15? That would be good for me. 37-33. I think you're right, actually, now that I think about it. I know you're right. I know you know you're right. Thanks, Preston. And now the fans in Cincy are yelling, we want Bama LMAO. Okay. They don't want that. I'll tell you that. Christina says, wow. Walking 6 says, will Aiden Hutchinson be the number 1 overall pick in the draft? No, I think Kayvon Thibodeau will be. Do you think committee would possibly rematch Georgia, Alabama in the semifinals? I think they would consider it. I don't think they would do it. I think a lot would hinge on what Michigan looks like today, and that would make it a harder decision for them. My background looks pretty cool right now. It kind of looks like a sunset. Ray, you were about 5 seconds ahead of us. Okay. I like being ahead. I don't mind being ahead. Being behind's worse. Georgia punts. Why? Jamsam, I'll tell you why. Because then Alabama would only need 1 first down or 1.5 first downs. They would have to get a first down and then maybe 5 more yards. And then they're kicking a field goal, and then there's no way Georgia can come back. So I get why they did it. And that is why I like 14 playoff or 16 playoff with top 2 seeds getting a bye. Best regular season in all sports for the whole season is a playoff. Yeah, I can definitely see your argument on it, Showtime. I definitely see it. I think more teams should get in because I think you're forgetting how exciting the playoffs would be if more teams got in. To an extent, sometimes there would be blowouts or whatever, but, think about Ohio State in the playoffs right now, Showtime, facing, so what would that put? That would put Bama and Michigan with a bye, and that would put Georgia, the 3 seed, against Ohio State, more than likely. And then you would have Cincinnati versus Notre Dame. Think about that playoff, my friend. That would be more exciting than what we're going to get. So I don't know, man. 16 playoffs, and then you could possibly, the matchups are just ridiculous. So yeah, in a year like this, maybe this is a good year for me to make that example, but it would be a way better playoff if it was 1 through 6 this season instead of 1 through 4. It's a game, Jam Slam, says Christina. Yep, Ray, I have Michigan State friends that don't let me forget. Yeah, hey, I wouldn't even care, my friend, if I was you. Who cares? Especially if we win tonight, who cares? You guys got curb stomped by Ohio State, lost bad to Purdue by 11. I mean, I feel like that's pretty bad when you were the favorites in that game. So I wouldn't care. Every dog has their day. That'd be like A&M, like bragging at Alabama right now. Who cares? I don't believe Hutch will be number 1 pick, but I believe he'll be top 5. I think he can be top 10 for sure, but it just depends on team needs. But the Lions are smart. They will take him number 1 and then get Ojabo with the other first-round pick they have. It sounds like you're being a Michigan homer there, Kingpin. They're both really good, but Thibodeau's better than those guys for the NFL level, in my opinion. Not by much. Unfortunately, says Preston. False start's going to cost them. Yeah, that one was bad. That hurt. I think Michigan and Iowa will be game of the night. I think Oklahoma State and Baylor have been the best game. Low snap, Young, incomplete, broken up. That could have been picked off if somebody would have been in that area, but it'll be incomplete, 3rd and 5. And if Georgia can get the stop here with minimum time being run off, that'd be huge. Cincy is up 35-20 with 1:13 to go. I'm so invested in that. Houston should get the ball back with less than 40 seconds left unless Cincy gets first down on this 3rd down and 8. Oh, pick it up, Cincy. Pick it up. Ray, your background looks like you were 50% maize and blue and 50% red and gray. Maybe you were a closet OSU fan. Oh, you hush your mouth. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know. I just mess around with the dial and pick colors on that. I'll have different colors for the Michigan stream. 3rd and 5 here. Young, this is it. He got the first down. Bummer. I think Thibodeau is overrated. So I don't know, man. He's pretty quick around that edge. He can do a lot. Sorry, I don't know how to spell his name. Aiden gets a lot more pressure and seems to be a harder worker. I don't know. I disagree across the board on that. Since he didn't get the first down, and Houston will get the ball back with just over 20 seconds left in the game, down 35-20. I feel good. Come on, Cincinnati. No cheap points. Playoffs are a few weeks. The whole season is a playoff, and it lasts longer. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Who was better, Hutchinson or his dad? Good question there. I can't even answer that. I think it's 1A, 1B kind of thing. Spin move by Brian Robinson. He'll lose 2 yards there. 2nd and 12 up and coming. Nice Cincy, says Benny. They are both Hutchinson. Laugh out loud. Houston got the ball with 16 seconds left in the game at their own 24-yard line. Finish it off, Cincy. The Georgia defense is finally playing now. Too late, though, I think. Agreed. I believe for the time period, his dad was better. He played at a time when they actually let them play, but his kid is amazing. Yeah, Hutchinson's pretty solid. Georgia, you blew it. It says Colton. Yeah, I agree. Congrats, Cincy, a non-Power 5 team in the playoffs. Enjoy your loss in the first round. Yeah, I agree. They're going to get stomped by whoever they play. Incomplete pass on the slant. It'll be 3rd and 12. So, they're going to call pass interference or holding. Bama, huge first down to 44. Georgia should have gone for it. Yeah, I get where your point is. I think they made the right call, though. You got to get the stops, man. They should have stopped these guys. I really would have liked to see Alabama, Ohio State this year wherever it took place. Yep, could have been a good rematch. Houston ran out the clock, and Cincy wins 35-20. I will take that. Thanks, Holy Shnikes. Tib didn't get really any pressure last night. He got a sack. I didn't watch much of that. I didn't pay attention to Thibodeau, but I know he got a sack yesterday. Utah's linebacker is better than Georgia's by a long shot. Yeah, that guy's a stud. Cincy trying to be like Michigan last weekend? Maybe so. We beat 3 in the playoffs, Georgia. Pass interference, another first. Yep. Georgia can't get the stop when they need it. I think what sucks, too, about this game is that Georgia didn't have to win. And whether they say it or not, I know they played hard in this game, but they didn't have to win. And that sucked. That sucks for Michigan's sake because I don't think it mattered, though, because Alabama just really brought their A game today. If this was the NFL number 11, we get a taunting call for waving his finger. Yeah, that's some sissy stuff there. All the fans rush the field, says Benny. Oh, okay, got you. Yeah, I can't blame them, man. It's exciting for them. I'm going to get right off the stream at the end of the game, guys, because I still have to set up Michigan's stream. In fact, if Alabama gets a few first downs here, I might call it early. I just got back from getting pizza in a friggin' blizzard. My signal probably dropped once or twice. I'm on your time now. Understood, my friend. I love Baylor and Bama. Hope you're safe. Be safe, buddy. I loved Baylor and Bama today, but didn't pull the trigger. I suck. Yeah, I picked both of those as well, Jam Slam. And I got Iowa in this late game covering the spread. We were getting hammered with snow up here. Nothing here, my friend. Nothing here. 3 of the 4 teams are set. The door's open for you, that team up north. Notre Dame fans just became huge Iowa fans. I would rather see that team up north than there. Nice. That's classy, Showtime. I appreciate that. And I think most fans would if you're taking out the, a dislike for Michigan. It's really not Notre Dame's year, in my opinion. Yep, doors open, man. Got to take care of business, Michigan does. Georgia's defense is doing worse than Auburn's defense against Bama. Crazy. Yep, very true. Last name since he didn't get flagged in the Houston game for waving his finger after stopping Houston on 3rd down. That ended up leading a Houston touchdown where they made it 35-20. As long as Cincinnati covered, I'm happy with it. Zima got that Louisiana score against App State. It was crazy seeing all them fans rush the field last weekend. The whole field was filled. Yes, indeed. It was a great scene. I agree. But 1 sack against Aiden, getting 3 sacks and 15 hurries against a good Ohio State O-line. Yeah, but Bob, I mean, that's just one game we're talking about here. Thibodeau's better, and the NFL scouts are going to say the same thing, my friend. I just think I don't know. I just think you're being a little biased there with Hutchinson. Go Blue. As Utah fan, I don't want to play Iowa. That would be lame. Yeah, that would be lame. I agree. I think Utah and Ohio State would be much better. Cheers, Dustin, says Benny. Another first. Game over. I agree, Jam Slam. I'm about to cut it short here, especially if Alabama puts on another touchdown. I don't know. I just have a feeling Cincy is going to shock a lot of people. I don't think so if they play Alabama. If they play Michigan, they got a much better shot to do so. I want to see good games in the playoffs, and I think Cincy plays Bama tough because Bama might overlook them. I don't agree with that, Showtime. I don't think Saban's ever going to let a team be overlooked in that scenario. But, they didn't look great against Auburn last week, so that's possible. Maybe they overlooked to Georgia last weekend. App State lost 24-16. Good. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to be 5-1. And the night games, there's only 3 that I picked. And I picked Iowa to cover. I picked California to cover. And I picked Pitt. But a lot of times I'd start off hot and get really cold at the end. So, man, that would put me in great shape if I somehow won all 3 of those, 8-1. That'd be amazing. I'd probably win this week. 1st and 10, a run, loss of 1. Highly unlikely, but anyone can do it 1 game at a time. I agree, Benny. Again, I can't be too picky. If Michigan goes to the playoffs, that's a hell of a year after going 2-4. It's a big step up. I'm on record saying Utah could upset OSU with that big line, and OSU having players sit out for the NFL draft. Yep, and you almost convinced me, and I might change my mind. Who knows? I'll definitely be covering that game plenty up until that point if that's the case. Can't believe number 3 in the playoffs. Yep. That'd be good. Michigan be number 2. Aiden is definitely a top 5 pick and possibly number 1 or number 2. Guys, y'all are so biased. Y'all are being so biased. I'm like, I don't know. Who knows? You know what? You know where Aiden could go first to the Lions is because they really just see something in his charisma and stuff like that. That could be the thing. But if you're picking off of talent alone, they're going to pick Thibodeau. They're going to pick Thibodeau. I get where, but I could see them taking Hutchinson. It's not like it's that big of a difference. I just think Thibodeau is better, personally. I'm trying to take my bias out of it. You might be right. I respect your view. Thanks, Bob. I appreciate that, my friend. Utah State only won 4. Yeah, because I'm just trying to take out my bias. I think it's really close. I'm making it sound like a little bit far-fetched. I just think you guys are being a little bit biased in that regard, a little bit. I've watched Thibodeau play a lot this season, and he is a disruptor. He is really good. He's really fast. Utah State only won 46-13 to the Aztecs. That's a big win. Holy Snikes, man. That's the one I got wrong, man. I should have known not to pick Brady Hoke's squad. Who would OSU have sit out? Rose Bowl is a great bowl. Yeah, but people are just, in my mind, selfish. I understand why they do it, but I still think it's selfish. I know people disagree with that, but I don't know. I'm kind of fine with it if you don't run your mouth and say, these are my brothers, I love these guys, I love this team. If you're not doing all that, I'm okay with it. But if you're doing all that, you can't call somebody your brothers and then say, I'm more important than you and I'm not going to play in this game. Since he is Bama's in, Georgia should be in, that leaves Michigan. Come on, let's win. Yeah, we got to take care of business. 2:08 left here in this one. I'm about to close out, actually. You asked Ray if he was a closet OSU fan. Are you a closet Michigan fan? That's King fan. Hi, says Haley. He's just playing around. I bet Olave, Wilson, and a couple of their offensive linemen sit to avoid injury since they are potential first-round picks. Jake Butt and linebacker from Notre Dame got hurt in non-playoff games. Yep, agree, Showtime, with that. I do understand it for scenarios like that. I get it. I just personally am not a fan of it. Michigan State versus Notre Dame Fiesta Bowl, I would be down for that. That'd be a fun one to cover for me. Live out loud, I've been on this channel for over a year and met some cool that team up north fans. Trust me, I bleed scarlet and gray. Oh, he does. Trust me. Come by earlier with a prediction of Alabama 45, Georgia 21, and you laughed me off. I did not laugh you off. Well, I kind of did, actually. That's a good point. But it's also not 45-21 either. So I said 27-24. I got one team score right. I just got the wrong team, and Bama scored a lot more points. My pick wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. I said Bama all year, and I changed my pick. I should not have changed my pick. And, yeah, Bama's out to score. If Bama scored a touchdown here, then your pick's really good. So I'm sorry for laughing you off. But at the same time, Blake, come on. Like, people do that all the time to me. Like, cool, you're right. But if you did it on a consistent basis, I bet keep making picks. Like, make a pick for the Michigan-Iowa game. And let me see. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people love to say when they're right, but they never say anything when they're wrong, including me sometimes. Brian Robinson on the stretch play on 3rd and 9, and he will not get the first down. Alabama will kick a field goal after this timeout. I'm going to have to go ahead and get out. I will, on the off chance that Georgia makes something happen, I will set up a whole nother stream and finish out. But I'm going to have to get out because I have minimal time to get the Michigan stream ready, and I still got to let my dog outside and some other things. So let me get out of here. I'll be back shortly as quickly as possible for the Michigan game. Take care, guys. God bless, and I'll see you shortly.